Okay, I thought it meant that we start after the end of that. But hey, who cares? Keep it going, Hello again, and welcome into the Ride the Wave show. I'm going to be your host, Clay. This is going to be my best friend, Adam, here with, if you heard that amazing burp, I don't know if you did, but that's why we started off the way we did. And we got here on the cozy couch, Tony Tone.
You call it the cozy couch because this couch was from the cozy.
No, it's just super cozy.
I know.
All right. Well, getting into this show, this is going to be our first I guess it's not our first pre-recorded show, right? We had a couple before, but we're getting back.
Was pre-recorded.
Getting back in action, obviously, so we can be 10 times better. I think we've already nailed that, right? Mm-hmm. All righty. So we got good old Anderson in the back taking care of all the video quality needs with MVD back there with them. Had a Thanksgiving last week. Tony, how was your Thanksgiving? How was your weekend?
It's been a wild one, you know what I mean? I was trying to watch some great basketball on Friday, but instead I found myself stranded at a BP waiting for somebody to come save old Bridge Charming over here. The guy at AutoZone on Bridge Street, I have to say, I believe it was Dylan. I swear to God, I called your district manager. You showed me the number on the door. I promise you I reached out to him. Great service over there, man. Came over to BP, got me done up right, got me to the station. Got a new battery in, and again, sometimes it's just nice to be safe.
You were telling us that was the best customer service you have ever had.
Well, the guy just looked at me. He wasn't fake. He was like, "Let me get that for you, sir." It was none of that. He was just like, "Look, this is what we're going to have to do. Let's do this." And I was like, I appreciate everything.
Keeping it real.
See, one of my favorite places to go is Jerry's Tires because there's a guy in there that's a mechanic that's just super real. And he always calls you boss. And it's like, you make me feel on top of the world because when you're having car troubles, it's like some of the worst. Like, I hate it. It's like
I hate
the worst.
I don't know
ruins
what
my
the
day more than anything else.
I also feel like a guy pulling one over on you is not calling you boss.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in his blood.
He's trying to honestly help me. He's a nice,
you're
like,
calling me boss.
guy.
I feel like you did your research, you did your time, you got your wisdom.
See, I want to say it's like the guy from Great Gatsby where he keeps calling everybody old sport, but isn't he actually trying to pull one over on his neighbor?
but that's like a
No, he's
buddy.
not trying to pull one over on his neighbor. He's just trying to get back with Daisy. It's long lost love.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words. Like if somebody comes up and it was like, "How you doing, little guy?"
Now, how would you feel if somebody came and said, "How's it going, old sport?"
And you just met him.
I don't know how I feel.
I'd be like, dude, I want to get on your level.
Yeah, definitely rich. He's definitely a rich guy. If he's pulling out the old sport,
I'm thinking more, what bar did you just come from? Because no homie's talking like that anymore. So it's like, honestly, if you come up to me like that, I'm like, you're probably pretty deep. So I hope you had some good wings when you watched.
The old sport.
How you doing, old sport? And I'd be like, what?
Doing great, chap.
Cheerios.
I'm new.
Damn it. I know, old sport. I'm a new sport.
Young buck.
Speaking of new sports, we did have the preview, as you did mention there, Tony, happened last Friday. Adam, who's the people that stood out to you for the preview?
Honestly, Adina. They're athletic. You know, they're fast and athletic. I think they're going to be a team that's going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, I thought, it was a good preview. First thing we got to talk about outside of the game is shout out to Mr. Lauderback hitting the half-court shot. Tony, I don't know if you were there for it or watching in spirit or anything like that. I know you weren't there for it.
I just don't want to acknowledge it. Be like, let's just keep going.
Yeah, but no. So what I'm doing is I'm running around, right? And I'm like, okay, I have now realized it is one game before we're supposed to have somebody shoot this half-court shot. Haven't found a single soul. Haven't even tried to look for somebody. So I was like, all right, well, Adam and Shu, you're going to take it away for a minute because I got to walk around, find somebody. And at first I was like, can't have a kid because if they're on a sports team and I give them $100, they were getting sued.
Illegal.
Very much sued. So I was like, yeah, we're going to stay away from that guy doing adult. So I'm looking around and I'm like, you don't look like the guy. You don't look like the guy. You don't look like the guy. So I'm going around the hallway and Mr. Uri sees me and he goes, hey, Clay, how's it going? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking for somebody that wants to win $100. And this guy says, I'll do it. No explanation. Just has no idea what he's agreeing to. He goes, $100. Sign me up.
$100 is $100.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Mr. Lauderback. I can't remember his first name. I want to say it was Ryan.
I want to say it was Ron.
Well, Facebook can tell us the answer to that. But as I'm looking for somebody,
Mr. L for sure.
so I say that, and he answers, and I look, and I see him. He has, his big beard, but he has this giant red streak, like necklace on, like where it's like neon lights and everything like that. He has that on, and I just look at him. I'm like, "You're my guy." So I was like, "Okay, this is what's gonna happen." Right before you and Yoda Paint Valley game, you'll get 3 half-court shots. You hit one of the 3, you get $100. He says, "Easy enough." So I'm looking for him. We're going all looking for him, telling everybody like, "Hey, this is what's going on." Blah blah blah. We get out there, first shot, no, not the best. He's even He goes and points to the camera.
Oh, he points, blows a kiss.
Yeah, he says it's on. People, I'm like, this guy better make this. So first one, not good. Second one, even worse. It was like all air. Like all air.
First one hit the backboard wide left. Hit the far side of like the small square.
Yeah,
wide left.
Yeah. So then third shot, I'm like, all right.
Sure, third shot looks
Third
just
shot
like
has
the first.
to go in. Doesn't go in. Hits the backboard. It starts like bouncing back to us. And I go, as it's bouncing back to us, I said, "Man, if you catch this, like turn around, shoot it, make it, like I'll still give it to you." This guy catches it, turns in one motion and lets it fly, and nothing but net. And I was like, Jesus.
Dude, it looks like he caught it and just did a drop step turn
Benjamin
back.
Waterback. That's it. So, hey, congratulations.
Not Ron, not Ryan.
Congratulations to
Ben.
Big Ben. But yeah, so one swoop of a movement, nothing but net. And I said, I got to honor it. So I gave it to him. Shoo, he immediately called me out on the broadcast. She was like, "Wow, Archer, a little lenient with the rules." I mean, it was kind of like a Vinton County situation.
If he came out and just did like a cool, like the ball was coming back to him as he was walking to the sideline and wasn't even near half court and turns and makes it, I'm still looking at it like, old chat.
Good shot, that old sport.
Let's get you 100 doubloons now, don't we?
And if you don't know what Clay meant by the Vinton County situation, just
Yeah.
go watch our Vinton County pregame show.
Yeah.
That'll explain itself. We're not going to explain it. You
go
gotta
watch that,
it. Go
and
watch
you
it.
will see some amazement. It was exactly like how that half-court shot was. And so I was like, "Man, you hit it. Here you go." You know what I mean? And as Adam, I think maybe even said on live air, it's like, kind of feel weird.
Keeping
The
sponsor money.
sponsorship money that we said this is going to go to somebody. So there you go. So yeah, that was a good part of the preview. We had a lot of good coaching interviews. I feel Huntington's coach Eric, was the best.
He gave me my quote of the day.
Which
and
was?
It's going to be, there's 2 ways to leave when you're coaching. You can leave on their terms or your terms. Better make it yours.
And he's also coming back from retirement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I thought that was amazing. And then after it was before he said that. He sits down, and I'm like, "Coach, how was it?" He goes, "What kind of question was that?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "We look terrible." I was like, I'm immediately like, "Okay." So then I'm like trying to be like, you have to have some players help you lead, coming in trying to change the culture. Who's that for you? He goes, "No one." I was like, "Yo, all right." So I was like, "Shoo, you know him? Talk." Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So, but no, it was a good interview. I'm excited to just watch that Huntington team because that Huntington team really does remind me of Paint Valley whenever Shoo came back. I mean, we weren't good.
They might finish last this year, but they're not going to be finishing last next
year.
year.
In a couple
of
years, they seem like they'll have some. Huntington, don't get rid of Coach Eric. You know what? Like, that's one thing that I feel like sports are missing.
Let him go out on his terms.
Yes, like, let the boys have tough love.
Let the man coach.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get turned around. I truly feel like he's going to do some good things out there at Huntington. But like you said, Adina's going to be a problem this year.
Fast
man.
and athletic.
Yes, and good finishes. So I will now admit, definitely said that they were a shooting team on the air on Friday. Nah. Very good run and gun team finish, but maybe some like mid-range. I mean, they didn't hit a whole lot of threes, but Olicker didn't really think talking to him after the game, it didn't seem like that was a point of emphasis for him.
I mean, it was the preview, so we didn't get a whole lot of offensive sets setting guys up to get their shot in motion.
It was all 5 out or 4 out, 1 in.
I'd say usually when we saw 3, it was off of most of the time it was off a rebound pass out or off of somebody getting maybe almost stripped and kind of just getting rid of it. So, I mean, we didn't see a whole lot of set plays for threes, so maybe that might have something to do with it. Maybe they might shoot a little bit better if they got, something going, like, a play set up for them.
Right, and that's kind of like what Shu was saying is, you could get a few things out of the preview.
Yeah,
you're not going to get a whole lot.
You can tell who's your hustlers. Like I can tell right now, Piketon's got a kid. He's number 0. I wanted to say his name.
Hey, you got the rosters on your phone.
I do have the rosters on my phone. I was the one that got the rosters on my phone.
What I
But
say
I mean, the
about
kid's
it,
a hustler. He's got a motor on him. Like he was sprinting the entire time he was in.
Adidas got some guys like Lucas King, who, you know what I mean? We talked about him being young on the football field. He got time as a freshman. So
Yeah.
coming out there, it's not like it's the first minutes he's getting.
And
It'll
he
be
didn't play
extended
basketball
minutes.
last year.
No,
That's what Olicker said. He said that he didn't play last year, or no, maybe he didn't play football last year, is what it was. And this year he did play football.
Gotcha.
And because he said, getting to hang around like a different kind of crowd than he normally hangs around with, and she was like, "Oh, I know what you mean."
I was actually referring to Brock Clark for Westfall.
Yeah.
I said he's got a motor on him.
Yeah. He was nonstop.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna be a problem. He's probably gonna be a defensive problem if I had to just guess.
yeah, because if you have a motor on where you just don't stop and you're just nonstop going, obviously that's what don't stop means. Then you're going to be a defensive problem because in high school basketball, 90% of being good on defense is just outworking the other person.
How long can you run a full court press?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling
If
you,
you
if
can
you're
do
a
the
real
full game-
dog, if you're telling me start to finish you can run that, that's a big advantage. Like
Yeah.
dude, the
It
full
might
court
hurt you in the
press-
beginning, but as the game goes,
And I'm not saying that's a real strategy. I just mean more of like if you have a kid like a Bryson Dunham. You
I don't
what
know,
mean?
man.
Like,
I've seen Piketon and Unioto with this full game. It's like, I don't care if they come out on a 22 run. Don't let up.
Yeah.
So I've seen full court presses, and that's what.
I'll just say it would scare me at the end of a game because when you have a fresh full court press, man, it's awful.
but that's what I'm saying with Unioto. They had platoon swaps.
Yeah.
So when you're doing fresh five, your full court press is at a full go at all times.
You look at some of the dudes that won't be starting for them, and you're like, man.
If you were
like,
at any other school,
like, I mean, they're just successful athletes in other places as well. You look at again, going back to football, but it's like Newton, Caden Cutright. Like they're not necessarily the stars on this team.
yeah.
But like, man, you're telling me those are going to be like the
Somebody
guys
that's
on
like
the
that
court
is
offense?
Ashton Crace, dude.
Dude.
No, he's him. He's already hit. I
He
mean, it's like the vice versa.
first play of the preview for him. Yam right on everybody, dude.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was
He had another one wide open layup, but he was like,
So-
I already dunked it once.
and like so we have the great Gary Kello on talking with Shu, talking about the '90s, talking about how awesome it was. Tell you, it was pretty poetic because and they weren't saying it in like a mean way, like putting down the league. They're saying it was different back in the day, like the athletes were different, blah blah blah. Right in the middle of that, this game starts, and Ashton just throws it down, and you hear Adam go back and go, "Oh!" And I'm like,
yeah, because I was off mic, and I'm pretty sure you might have heard me on, but nobody on that was announcing said
Yeah.
anything about it. Clay just turns and looks at me
talking.
like,
I'm like, and dunked by Ashton Crace.
like Clay looks at me, he's like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Oh my!"
So that interview wraps up as soon as Adam sits down. First thing, did you see that? But
The mics weren't on, so we.
but no, and that's something that I definitely saw from the preview is that there's a lot of athletic teams out there. It's going to be a run and gun league. It's not going to be a lot of post up, dominate the post nights. It's going to be who can get out there and run the most.
Dude, you've got teams with 9 varsity players out there.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
time for some of these teams. And for that being said, these 3-pointers I think are going to be a big factor, just like they were last year.
It's literally going to be the whole league's going to be living by a 3, live by a 3, die by a 3. That's basically going to be the whole thing.
And you wonder if you talk about a team like Adina who's coming out there and not really shooting a lot of threes in the first game, doing those mid ranges, like maybe that's where you start.
I think that Adina, if they can turn every single game they play into a track meet, they have a really
Jody
good
Ader's
shot.
coming back. He's a dog, right?
Yeah, and then it's like who's the dark horse team? You know what I mean? Because you look at Adina, I don't know if you can really call them a dark horse because people are starting to put them at the top now. But you look at maybe like the Piketons, you maybe look at like the Southeasterns, you look at the Westfall. You know,
My dark horse is Paint Valley.
really.
Personally, that'd be my dark horse.
Yeah, I think
They're a
Lakeem-
super young team, untested, haven't had a whole lot of varsity minutes. So I mean, if I'm picking a team that's maybe picked to finish kind of lower in the league by a lot of people, I think it's gonna be Paint Valley. I think they do better than
mine right now would be Southeastern just because of that Fisher kid that they had, and I know that Williams kid's a very very good point guard. I don't think they're gonna finish super high in the league, but I can see Southeastern winning some games that they're not supposed to just because of effort.
I know that Fisher kid's he's fast.
Yeah.
But he's fast and athletic. Outside of that, I don't know a whole lot about him.
Yeah.
It's kind of seeming that's just the league this year. It's just they're kind of all fast, athletic.
Yeah. But we're speaking of dark horses. We have somebody here that was a little bit of a dark horse themselves this year. Went 6-5 on the year, 4-3 in the league, making it to the playoffs. Actually beat Piketon in the last week of the season to make it to the playoffs. The one, the only, Logan Stepp. Coach, how's it going?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Oh, we're just living it up. Hey, glad that we can finally have you on the show. I know we had a little bit of a hiccup last time, but glad we can finally make it up and get you here on the show.
Oh, it's all good, man. I've been waiting for this. To be honest with you, I enjoy your guys' show. One of my favorite games you guys did this year was our game against Piketon. God, man, I was laughing so hard, and it had nothing to do about the game. It was just you guys, joking around and having a good time.
We weathered the storm.
Yeah, the one thing we thought a ref quit in the middle of that game. I thought he said, "I'm done. I'm out of here."
I know, man. That was a crazy situation, man. It's like I talked to the ref, and then he went over to Coach Gallion. Coach Gallion talked to the ref, and I think obviously me and Coach Gallion. We're on different pages there, and
I might have been too.
It just
was, So I gotta ask you because I don't think we ever got a clear definition of what happened. What was the call there? What happened? Kind of walk us through that.
So we obviously onside kicked, and in the onside kick, obviously the ball has to go 10 yards. Well, the ref said it didn't go 10 yards, and then he said that our kid hit their kid in a way to where it would be a personal foul, and basically it was whether or not if the ball was going to be a live ball or a dead ball foul, and that was where I kind of took a shot in the dark. I'm like, hey, I don't think it can be a live ball if the ball's never possessed.
Yeah.
And Coach Gallion took the side of, no, on kickoff, as soon as the ball's touched, it's live.
Right.
So, him and I just, obviously, the rule, I think it is live as soon as the ball's touched.
I love how in the moment he goes, all right, let's just see if I can pull this off. Hey, listen. that takes, that's next level coaching right there. That's some strategies.
I did take a shot in the dark. I didn't really know the rule.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether or not it'd be live or dead. So I was like, I'm going to go for it. And then the ref came back after talking to Coach Gallion. And obviously he was not on the same page as what we were before he went to Coach Gallion.
Right.
Nothing against Coach Gallion. I mean, he was right.
Yeah.
And so that's where the ref, I just asked him, I said, can you go get the rule book? And he did. And normally the refs have the rule book
right
behind
there.
Not
back at their house.
There's a misconception too. There was a lot of stuff leading up to this with some fickle calls, and then for even to get the possible dead ball foul where he's hitting somebody illegal, there was a lot of stuff that I wasn't for one team at the time.
I
definitely was. I was a homer during that call, but either way, I will say I just felt like if you're gonna call things a certain way, call them a certain way, and I just felt that was a lot more fickle than some of the.
Once I got let go.
Some of the malarkey that got let go before that.
Hey, I'll give the refs a lot of credit. We didn't even have refs until Thursday of that week.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So for some reason the refs situation got mishandled, or I don't know where the dice fell, but yeah, we didn't have refs, so they put together a crew for us on Thursday, and they came in And to those dudes' credit, they really didn't call anything. You know, I mean, they let
One
us all
thing
play
is
football.
they definitely let you guys decide
That was my
who
thing
was
is,
going to
like,
win.
Yeah.
They let the boys play.
Yeah.
For them to do this like after the onside, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like I really liked the way they were letting them play. But if you're going to let
It
them
was
play,
almost like
let-
towards the end, they're like, okay,
Well,
maybe
you
we
guys
best-
were moving the ball pretty freaking well, and I felt like Piketon was starting to get annoyed,
Yeah.
and like you could see their
Well, yeah, when you're getting your
way-
ass kicked, it does get kind of annoying.
yeah. But man, I gotta say, Bryce did a hell of a job, just like
Yeah.
closing that step back and just still being able to make the exact pass.
Adam, did you have a
I
question?
digress. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Okay. But that I wanted to say something about Bryce. You know, 2 years in a row, you have an absolute weapon as a quarterback. Then you have all these skill positions. Was there ever times where you're sitting there like, damn, I need to get right the ball because I've been getting here or here or here because you have so many weapons, it's hard to feed them all.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we do, and I think we're going to have another round of that next year with some of our guys coming back. But you know, one of my main priorities this year, and even the games we lost, I kind of just took a step back and I'm like, you know, did we not run the ball as much as we should have? You know, we played Madison Plains early, and Joey had, you know, like 300 yards. It felt, I think it might have been somewhere up
Oh
like
yeah,
200 yards.
he had
something.
Adam's fantasy team high.
I know he had like
Yeah.
262 in one game with a couple of scores. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that. And then, you know, but on the other, you know, side of that coin, you got, you know, very, very talented skilled guys with Trent Waters,
Is he
Cade
coming
Hall. No, Trent was a senior.
That's what. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. We got.
I was a cornerback myself.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. Oh, he had some
Trent.
hell of some catches that game we were at.
Unreal.
Oh yeah. Trent's a legit athlete, man. And then the crazy part is like football's not even his first sport.
Yep.
Like he would be fine if he didn't play football. I think if he could just play baseball and do that, he would. But
That's insane.
you know, I think I've built a pretty good relationship with him over the last couple of years. I'm like, no, buddy, you're like pretty good at this.
Yeah, nobody.
football thing.
You see what you're doing? Like, come on.
Yeah, like you're pretty good, man. Yeah, he had a bunch of interceptions, and he ended up in the year with like 7 interceptions or something.
Led the league.
Yeah, I was about to say you
Uh,
had a lot
yeah.
of district leaders, if I'm not mistaken, right? If you can name those off.
I think we just had Bryce Wickline and Trent Waters both headline first
Heck
team.
yeah.
Trent was first team. wasn't he?
So, yeah, both of them were first team all district.
Like, yeah,
We knew Bryce.
Yeah, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I was not to sound weird, but like, so as we was getting this started, I saw Bryce Wickline pop up, so I followed him on Instagram. I'm like, oh man, like this kid looks pretty cool. First thing I saw was my nephew was liking all his pictures. Like, hey man, do you know this guy? Like, why have you not been letting me know? Like, so, but yeah. We got to have him on the show a couple of times, and he just seemed like a really really good kid. And you know, coming in as a coach, not you'll have the mistake. Was this your second year as the coach out there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so last year you're coming in, you're trying to put your system into place and stuff like that. You have to have not just good coaches. We have to have players buy in and lead the team. And I'm guessing Bryce is probably one of those, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How was him and some of those other leaders like helping you build the culture that you've now built and taken to the playoffs?
Yeah. So just speaking a little bit about Bryce. Last year when I got the job, my main goal during the like January, February month was to find a quarterback. So I went to the film and I watched it all, and there was probably 4 or 5 dudes that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring them all in. Casey Klein was one of them. I don't know if you guys remember him from last year. Casey Klein, Trent Waters, Bryce, a guy named Michael Harwood, which he played for us last year, didn't play this year, but so I brought them all in and we all did workouts, and Bryce ended up winning it. And the reason Bryce, separated himself was because of his leadership, and just how hard he plays. There's not many kids that play the game of anything. It doesn't matter if it's football, wrestling, baseball, that play as hard as he does. So that was something I knew I had in my advantage, is this kid's going to play really hard and he's going to be really coachable. And that's 2 things that you need to have at quarterback. So, he definitely helped me lay the foundation of, what it's like to play football at Westfall, because it's been so different, the last however many years before me. So I really tried to find just a core group of 5, 6 dudes that played hard. And those are the dudes I gravitated to a little bit more. And I think kids kind of understood that. And once they got that, gist of, hey, like these kids are getting taken care of if you play hard, then kids just started playing hard. And I think that was one of our, biggest compliments last year was, hey, your kids play really hard. Your kids play really hard. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, but we're losing games, so how can we turn in, playing hard to winning games? And that's something that, we lost to Huntington last year. We lost to Adina last year.
And that has to be nice too. Like the next year after that, you lose to them last year, then you turn around and beat them the year after that. So you're kind of seeing that not instant success, but you're seeing the steps hit.
It almost leads to like a question I have for you is one of the big steps that you saw be made was your defense. Like we looked at Westfall last year, and you saw a lot of games where you guys were putting up points, you played good games, but they were just kind of outscoring you. And even talking to Bryce really early on in the season, it was kind of one of those things that if you could get your defense in check a little bit, not that they were bad, but if you could get them in check, you could be really onto something. And I think that's where you saw a lot of those wins with some good defense.
I completely agree. I felt like your guys' defense really took a big step this year.
Did you do something specific? Do you feel like it was just growing or?
We changed our defensive coordinator last year stepped away, and that's nothing against him. That wasn't why we were not very good on defense. Right. But we got a new defensive coordinator that had a little bit of different philosophy. We changed obviously our scheme, which I think our kids bought into a little bit more, based off personnel. We had a little bit bigger kids this year than we did last year, so that was a factor in it. But ultimately it's a culture. Defense is just your culture of how you want your program to be. And it's, defense is not something everybody wants to do, right? Everybody wants to score points, right? Nobody wants to run around and make tackles, so how do you get your culture installed in a defense, right? And, a part of that is we run really hard and we play really hard. And that was a little bit why, we did a little bit better this year against some of the teams that we lost to last year. The next step is to marry both the offense and defense, right? Against Uniota, we had 4 turnovers, so our defense played lights out. We had 4 turnovers. We give up 1 at half, that Hail Mary at halftime. And, obviously the catch fumble that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Those are all things that
definitely something you don't think about at least once a week, right?
Yeah, I do. I think about it a lot. We threw an interception,
Fair is fair.
Right off the head of our H back, so there's a lot of turnovers that if we clear some turnovers, I think we're probably 8 turnovers away from being 9-1.
Yeah, because we were somewhere
crazy to think
I don't know where we were the week that you guys were playing Uniota, but I want to say it was a very close game, and then my eyes were glued to my phone because I was like, "Damn, Westfall!" Because we were saying it like, "Man, I think Westfall's gonna beat some teams that they weren't not that we're
had a really good shot."
Yeah. So Coach, I wanted to ask a question here because you're talking about Bryce, and we talked with him, and I don't think he played quarterback forever. I think he was a little bit of like a running back a little bit there. Then I know some other guys you had mixed some positions. You also, though, while you're up at Otterbein, went from wide receiver to quarterback. Is there anything from your switching from 2 positions that kind of helped you with, Bryce, maybe saying like, hey, when I was a receiver, I was thinking this, so that when I was a quarterback, kind of helped me and stuff like that. Was there any of that helping you with Bryce or maybe even your receivers?
Yeah, no, I think when you play a different position outside of quarterback, you just see the game a little bit different, right? So, when I was at West Jeff, I didn't play football in high school until I was a junior. And I was fortunate
enough to play
high
school until he's a junior. Then goes to Otterbein and just cleans house, ladies and gentlemen. Just have to make this very clear, real quick.
No humble pie.
No, that's not why. That's not why. I say that because I was able to play wide receiver at West Jeff as a junior.
Yeah.
And then when I was able to play quarterback as a senior, I just saw the game a little bit different. So I was able to see some of the holes that open up before they were supposed to, because I was a receiver the year prior.
Right.
And with Bryce, and then I did the same thing at Otterbein and played receiver for 2 years. So I got the collegiate view of how to play receiver. And then I got the collegiate view of, this is how you play quarterback. So I was able to see both sides of that. Mm-hmm. And I think when Bryce played the skill positions that he did before he played quarterback, it might have helped him, develop some of the vision, and it helped me coach him. Right. Of like, hey, man, this is what I saw. And Bryce is a film warrior, man. We spent hours, countless of hours together, just watching film and trying to figure some things out and how to make the game easier for him. And I think you saw that last 2 years with how he performed. The kid is not a quarterback that played really well at quarterback. So really, we developed him into a quarterback, and now he wants to go play college football.
Played really.
So
I think he did
2,500
pretty cool.
yards. I mean,
a great job in that second year of like really showcasing his ability to run too.
yeah.
And I don't think that happens if he doesn't start to play quarterback first.
And I think it's important too, where it's like, he played one position, then he goes to quarterback. Coach Stepp plays one position. It's something that maybe not a lot of people can relate to, other than those two. So they kind of gives you that kind of a closer bond, because you're talking with you guys probably talking to each other about not problems, but things that you've experienced that like you could go talk to a wide receiver that's always been a wide receiver because I don't know. I get the wide receiver stuff, the quarterback stuff. I don't get it. Where you're like, yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. And
Russell Wilson, like he played safety in high school, and at a high level, and he really talks about how that made him change the way he sees the game.
Yeah, and it's just and it comes back. We have Coach Shu on all the time, and the number one thing he says is about relationships, and it really sounds like you have great relationships with. Is that one of your coaching philosophies? One of your core values as a coach?
Yeah, no, I think the number one thing in teaching, the reason we got into this as a teacher, and that's you got to build a relationship with your kids for them to even learn anything, right? So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's kind of how I brought that mindset into coaching.
I think that's the first time. I'm sorry. I think that's the first time I've heard that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. That's freaking awesome. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I say that a lot, man, because I just want these kids to understand, like, if your locker's dirty, right, then you're not going to play well in the field, right? Because you're not going to do the little things, right? If you ain't taking care of your stuff at home or doing your homework or nothing is ever going to work for us on the field, right? If you can't do anything in the classroom, there's no way I'm going to teach you a concept, right? So just building relationships with kids is obviously the number one thing. And we spend a ton of time together in the off season. We do an hour culture talk before every practice. And I don't want to give away too many of my secrets, but I think that's something I think everybody should do.
100% agree.
We talk about
Everybody that's
a lot
Westfall,
of things.
nobody else.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Westfall
That's
basketball, and then
It's not working at all. Don't try.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think
it's
about
not.
trying to do this.
No, we all get into this to develop young men into adults, and hopefully better husbands and fathers, right? That's
Preach.
What the goal is. So that's something we talk about a lot. How to treat social media in the world we live in. That's a culture talk that we have. How to treat women in your life, your moms, your girlfriends, right? Things like that. Those are all things we talk about, an hour before practice for an hour in the summer. And I think a little bit of that is good.
Yeah.
When you talk for an hour, it really gives some of the people that don't talk in the first 5 minutes, like me, who's willing to talk at any time, as you can see.
Yeah.
5 seconds ago. But it's like it gives some of those members of the team that might not be as outspoken as the other ones to really get to talking too. I always felt like the stuff where we did as a team where it was lengthened, I always felt like that's when we learned the most about each other. And to be honest with you, that's
and
awesome.
like he said, make sure you're aware of the social media. As in, only go talk to Ride the Wave Show, because they're the only ones that's going to do you right.
That's right. Go follow them.
Now, Coach, here at the Ride the Wave Show, we do the extensive journalism here. So we're going to ask you some tough questions. I know it might be off the wall for you, and it's going to be hard, but I'm sorry. We just have to. It's in the contract that we don't have. So first question is, you're let's say you just you beat Piketon. You're making it to the playoffs. You're going out for a meal. What are you eating for your victory celebration meal?
Yeah, so I'm a pizza. I love pizza.
Yes!
I'm a pizza connoisseur, man. So
yes. All right, hey, favorite pizza then? Yeah, what is it?
Oh man, so before I moved out here, we lived in Hilliard, and we tried this place called Amy's Pizza.
Okay.
And that is like some of the best pizza I've ever had. Flyers Pizza is obviously the number one. If you haven't had Flyers, you need to check Flyers out. Just get their original, pepperoni and cheese pizza, and that's all you need.
Oh my God,
I do like Flyers. It's pretty good.
You've had Flyers?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta have it. I love
had it
pizza
up there because I was living like in Galloway, Ohio. So I'm pretty sure they have one.
Yeah, that's where I lived at.
Yeah.
That's where I was living at.
Oh yeah.
Oh heck yeah.
Say if you guys ever come down here, hit me up. I'll go to Flyers with you down here on in Grove City.
Bucket.
I was like right off Georgetown's roads. I'm pretty sure they had one like right there.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Flyers Pizza, we're coming. I don't know if you'll be able to handle this because I love pizza. I'm ready. All right, Coach. Another thing. let's say you got to do some winding down. You're just trying to take the stress off. You're throwing on a movie or a TV show. What's one of your go-tos?
Oh, right now I'm obsessed with the Pat McAfee podcast.
Hey,
as
as
embarrassing
you
as
can
that
tell,
is, man.
so are we. As in me.
Yeah,
I
love that podcast, man.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing that I get home and we watch all 3 hours of it.
Hey, 3 years of listening to that has inspired this show to be a thing. So
I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
Now, a question
I'm so
I
glad
got to know the answer
that
to.
this happened.
Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, waffles.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Yeah, I'm a waffle guy.
This is why we had
Yeah.
to have you on. We just knew we had like minds.
Get waffles, waffle, peanut butter, waffle, syrup.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I
it
would-
sounds like a heart attack.
I would
It is. It is.
I would be remiss if I didn't
Sounds good, though.
mention the announcer from Westfall.
Yes.
That shit.
What
Elite.
is the announcer from Westfall's name? We need to know.
So that is our middle school head coach's wife,
Okay.
Mrs. Herod. Yeah,
Mrs.
Mrs.
what?
Herod. Herod?
Herod. Hey,
Yeah.
shout out to
Herod.
Mrs. Herod.
she
She
was
was electric.
Next.
We almost had to give her
level,
a microphone and shut the hell up.
Next
She
level.
she was awesome.
Yeah, she's
Like,
elite.
Yeah,
man. She's
there were
good at
some
what she
calls
does.
that she was making, and then if you're watching our broadcast, we're not saying anything because we're listening
like-
to her.
She was the one that put the Jeopardy music on during the
Yeah.
rest debacle.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know
Reach-
if she did that.
Oh, she didn't do that.
I don't know if she did that.
no,
but
it was
there
the
was
music guy.
definitely
He was,
somebody
Oh
up there
yeah,
with her
yeah.
doing
But
that.
man, she
I'm
was.
sure there's a music guy.
I'll say this: we do want to do a referee show too. You know, I talked about in the beginning we were kind of giving him crap, but we do want to do a referee show just because
Yeah.
some of my family that I'm closely related to is a ref around here, and you know, talking about varsity baseball games not having referees for them and different things like that, just making sure that the fans know how to act. You know?
Yeah.
I will say this: I think if lowering the ticket prices might actually make fans a little happier when they walk into the stadium.
I just spent $20
Yeah.
a person.
I didn't mean to drag you into that. I'm sorry, but I'll get to it later.
Yeah. All right, Coach. One last question: if you could have any superpower to help you on the field as a coach and then as a player, what would they be?
I'd want to read people's minds.
See, okay, hold on, time out. You're the first coach to say that. I don't understand why no one else has said that.
See, I think
What's
I think
the
Carpenter
popular
said that as
answer?
well.
So, okay, and then for player, what would it be?
I think it'd be the same thing because
Really?
I'd be able to know where you're going to be at, right? So I
Yeah,
can,
that-
I can
that would be
dictate
good.
the
That'd be
play, and
I pick speed because
I was able to call a lot of plays. So
I've been last in every race. So I'm like, yeah, give me the speed.
Let me tell you something. The
Teleportation.
strong conquer
Speed
the
would be
weak,
good.
but the wise conquer the strong. My dad said that. I don't give him credit for it, but I did Google it once, and I didn't see who really said it in the first place. I'm like, I know he didn't come up with something that good. Shut up.
Your dad over. Listen
I
here,
love you,
son.
Dad. I really do.
All right, well, Coach, we want to again just thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come on this show to talk to these three idiots. We'll definitely be hitting you up for that Flyers pizza because I'm a
Yes.
pizza connoisseur myself, so I'm gonna have to try it out.
And to get back out there, we had a blast.
Yes, we would. Hey, next year you're like high on the
was so
list.
fun.
Get to Westfall. We had a blast out there. You guys, I thought I can't wait to see you guys' new facility for the gym. I thought you
Yeah.
guys had great hospitality, great people. It was a really good time out there.
awesome, guys. Hey, I appreciate what you guys are doing for the game. I mean, obviously the kids in our area with your guys' fantasy leagues and things like that. Our kids talk about it all the time, even if they're not even the ones on there. Like, that's so cool. So I mean, you guys are doing some really good stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it. I know you guys probably don't get the appreciation that you deserve, but keep doing it because kids love it, and that's what it's all about. So I
Thank
appreciate
so
you guys
much,
for having me
man.
Coach,
on.
figure out
I
who
can't
wants
wait
to
see you in this-
play football on a college level and send that list to us because we really want to start trying to make
Yeah.
these connections. So whenever you get that
Yeah, I
list
will.
together, send us the roster and see who wants to keep going with it because we really want to try to do even better than we are right now. So thank you for the praise.
No, yeah, you guys are
I'll
on the
shut
right
up now.
track. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, in the winter, let me know if you guys need anything. I can help you out.
All righty,
Yes, sir.
ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Logan Stepp.
See you guys.
Man, I love that guy. He was awesome.
Great time.
He
I
was.
hated
He
that I
offered
couldn't
to
come out
help
to
us.
Westfall.
He offered to help us.
Nobody helps us.
No one locks us in the bar.
Nah, but everything he said, dude. The
I'm
culture
so
talk
glad
before
you
practice,
remembered the freaking announcer lady because she was so legendary. I'm glad we got to give
I
her
will
praise.
never
I hate that I
Cookie.
missed it because
Dude,
I wasn't there.
you
I was
won't
in the-
next
I was
year.
in the-
Dude,
Dude,
it was just quicker than we could even come up with.
And
it on the
wittier.
spot, and it was just so much better.
we got outwitted. You know how many times this man's been outwitted? Not a lot.
If you're driving by Westfall, just tune into that game on Friday and just jump in.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, man. She was
Yeah.
great.
Even if you don't know who Westfall is, but you were like, oh, Westfall looks cool. I gotta go see who this lady is. So
Gotta go.
gotta give her a huge shout out. Again, Logan Stepp. Man, from West Jeff, he went to sorry, I had a burp there. He went to Otterbein and absolutely just tore up, man. And like he said, went there 3 years as a receiver and then goes to
played
quarterback.
football his whole life.
That's what he's like, yeah, I didn't really start playing football until I was a junior in high school. I'm like, what?
Do you think, and this is something that's a really good topic too, even with people like Steph Curry, sometimes I feel like you might get a little polluted. Coming in a little later in the game, maybe being a little bit more mature. Steph Curry's dad, they'll never let him play AAU basketball because he said that's where you pick up nasty habits. Who has the most perfect shot of all time? A guy that never played AAU ball.
That's true.
But I say that, think about it. When you got to play AAU ball, or I did, or played summer league ball, I've never thrown an alley-oop in a high school basketball game.
No,
But I threw 30 of them in
would
summer
rip my
league, bud.
throat out and stuff it in my face.
Yeah, but I shouldn't even have been thinking about that. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, that AAU ball, I'm literally throwing 30 a season.
I feel like sometimes
I had a better chance throwing hands than you.
yeah, I say in the AAU thing, it depends on who your coach is. Really, if you don't if you don't got a good coach, then it's basically a waste.
But that's not necessarily true because there's going to be blowouts. There's going to be times where you are getting blown out. So it makes no difference.
I'm sorry, that just didn't sound right to me. But yeah, keep going.
Getting blown out.
But you talk about coaching. There's one good coach, Coach Miller and Yoda. Did you see the score of Wayne yesterday? They only lost to Wayne 60-56 and led at the end of the first quarter, the second quarter, and tied at the end of the third. And Wayne is an absolute powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going to Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Fours every single year. And they really lost because they had 20 turnovers and they had a few missed bunnies. I mean, they know this. Coach Miller knows. You're not winning a bunch of games with 20 turnovers.
20 turnovers and not having a 4-point loss is huge.
Yeah, which makes you think probably at the end of the stretch, they had some turnovers to give up the lead. Because, again, went into the fourth quarter tied 50-50. Final score was 60-56. So, again, you only gave up 10 points in a quarter.
Low scoring fourth quarter there.
Yeah, that's and you have to guess. Talking about press, that's probably where that came.
I'm telling you, that's the difference. I'll never teams like Episcopal Academy and stuff like that. It was just so annoying
I
that
thought you said piss poor academy. I'm having a hard time hearing.
if I would have beat them one time or even lost by less than 40, I would say. But I lost twice, and one was 54 and one was 48. But that being said, when you get out, you're like, oh, man, okay, I can beat this press. These guys, and they just rotate a dude in who's like a Pat Bev, and he's in your face, smelling your deodorant, talking shit, and you're like, what? Where did this guy come from? He didn't play all game. I've been there sweating my guts out. Now he's talking about how I smell.
It's like, dude, and he just dropped 10 points in 3 minutes. And so it's like, yeah. No, I 100% get that. But I think they're doing it right, though. They're going up there and they're competing. Now, I do want to give credit because I was about to say, Chillicothe, they had a tough schedule this year and then for football, right? And then it panned out. But talk to some people. They did have a certain player whenever they scheduled those games to try and help get exposure because he was a D1 athlete. And then he did not play for Chillicothe this year. Mm-hmm. So then they're already locked in those contracts.
Yeah, I mean, he probably saw the schedule and was like,
well,
I ain't doing all this.
He went to Pick North, so he was like,
well, they probably had more than just him.
Yeah, sure.
So he was like, you expect me to do all this?
So, yeah, that I do want to give Chillicothe a little bit of a break because we were hard on him this year about that schedule. But
I mean, no, it's a smart schedule if you can win some of those games because it looks so well for you.
Yeah, you found Juan Miller, baby.
But now talking about Yoda, again, we don't like to give out participation trophies here, but losing by 4 to a very, very good Huber Heights Wayne, man. I mean, it's not that, give them a pound on the back because they lost. No, you can see this team's going to be a problem like we all knew they were going to be this year. And that's the first of about 4 or 5 hard tests that they're going to have.
There's a reason there's 2 records at the top of the you got your your
conference record
and
and your
Yeah.
out-conference, yeah.
And to be honest with you, like, it's icing on the cake too. Like, I understand that's going to look like an L, but come on, man, that's an easy L to take back to that other record.
Yeah.
That really matters for gold balls and things like that. Like, St. Trace
and
was a perfect example last year.
Then you got Adina. They're right behind them. They
Now,
came
for a gold ball in SVC basketball, do you have to just go undefeated
in the league.
In the league?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to go undefeated.
Because didn't St. Trace go undefeated
Last year
outside
in
of
the
the
league.
league too?
No,
No, they didn't. Okay, I
In
couldn't
football
remember.
last year they did.
Okay,
In
yeah,
basketball last year, I
4 losses.
don't.
Yeah, I could.
Did
I
they
couldn't.
have
I
4
could.
losses
4
last
at the
year?
end of the season, meaning that counted the last one too.
In basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, because last year they won the gold ball, went undefeated in
The
league
SVC,
play.
yeah.
What
Yes.
was nuts is teams like there was a lot of teams that
Dude,
almost
last year
ruined
was
that
a
for
really so Payne Valley was the last game of the year for him, and we had him on the ropes, man. I mean,
Was it
we
at Paint Valley?
yeah.
They had a tip in at the
And
end.
and
That's a scary game
where
to
Shoe's
play.
talking about it gets packed in there. It was true '90s feel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a scary game to play because
Yeah.
it's like true home court
And it was-
advantage for this place.
Let me look up. Thanks to give them a shout out. SVC Sports Talk. They should have the
SVC
score
Sports
from
Talk.
last year. But no, it was a very, very close game throughout. And then what had happened was, and this is gonna sound
What had happened was
this is gonna sound bad, but what happens is you have players that have been in that moment, and you have players that are good, but they have never been in a moment like that. And that's Dax Stepp, Cole Miller. Now Braylon Robertson obviously has been in moments like that, but like those players were absolutely phenomenal. Carson Free, they're very, very good athletes. But that was the
With Dax
first
Stepp.
big game in Paint Valley history, or in Paint Valley basketball, probably since Shoe left.
for a very, very
Yeah,
long
so
time. at
about
least.
6 years of just no big games, and now you're in the biggest game of your life at home. And I would like to say, I am a homer, but I would like to say they kind of rose to the occasion because it was 42-42, and then the Pioneers go on an 8-0 run to close the game out last year, win the gold ball. So that's what I'm saying. You got a
That's-
state championship coach, and you got good players to close out like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying with this Paint Valley team, where I think they're going to be maybe a scary team later on in the season, is just because they're kind of untested. They haven't had a whole lot of game time in those big moments, and there's not a whole lot of people with varsity time on that team other than Braylon and Carson really right
Yeah.
now. So I think as time goes on, as the season develops, I think that Paint Valley team's going to be dangerous.
I think Coach Lakeem hit it on the head. They got to find their point guard, man. They have to find. They have people that can bring the ball up the court, but they don't have a true point guard because Carson should be a 3, Braylon should be a 2.
The way he talks and the way he carries himself, you just know Coach Lakeem's going to get that program.
Yeah, he's going to get figured out, and he's going to get him on the right track. I'm really, I really wish I was with him this year, but I thought the show was way more important. But like, I think he has a good culture, and he has a good direction that they're heading to.
Honestly, we had a star-studded preview podcast there.
We
because
did,
had
man.
all the
Like I
coaches
said,
come
we
in,
had
dude.
Gary Kello come up here. Like I said, we had Coach Oliger come up. If you didn't watch it, you can still go on our YouTube channel. Coach Shoe.
We had Coach Shu. We
Yeah,
had
we had Shu
3-time state champion Coke Miller come on. We
Yeah.
had 4 state champions
Against
on
his
the
will.
on the
That's
broadcast.
what we didn't tell you. So I think Coach Shoe was like, I didn't break, but didn't tell us. And he just saw Cole down there. He goes, Cole, you're on the show. And he goes, right now? He goes, yeah, you're taking my microphone. Come on. And Cole's like, no, I'm not. And Shoe's like, yes, you are. Get on.
Like he came up all like gingerly, like hey, what do you need, Shu? And she was like, take my mic right now.
It was insane.
Shout out Shu though. I love it.
But again, everybody's saying, Huntington might not be good at looking bad, blah, blah, blah. If you forget, look at here. They lost to Union the last game in SVC play last year, 67-65. You know what I mean?
They might
and
play
they didn't
a lot
lose
of
a
good
whole lot of people.
Yeah, they might play a lot of good basketball and maybe just not finish games out. But I think their coach out there's going to give. I think they're going to be another team that's going to develop really well in the season.
And let's not forget, again, last year, Westfall and Piketon played each other for a sectional semi. And then, let's see here. I think, for a sectional semi game. So, again, where you have the D3, man. So, there's been talks of expanding it to Division 5. would be the best case scenario for every school around here because, one, Chillicothe would finally go to the division they deserve to be in. Number two, Chillicothe would be an absolute force in Division 2. But there are six kids over the limit to now be in Division 1. I've said it.
I'm done open enrollment.
Listen, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. If I was a superintendent, I would look at 6 open enrolled kids and be like, guess who's not open enrolled anymore? Like,
or at least just 6 problem kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, expulsion.
Yeah.
You know, I'm put up with your crap for too much.
Speaking of expulsion kids getting out. Oh. But.
So
Nothing's
this is my thing.
nonchalant
This
here.
is my thing about the SVC. I think as good as basketball we're going to see in the top half of the league, the top 4 teams playing against each other, we're going to see just as good basketball in the bottom
middle.
of the half of the league playing against each other. So like that 5, 6, 7, and 8, all those teams are going to be competing for probably the 5th or 6th spot.
I think from 8 to 3 is not that big of a gap. Now, I really don't even think from about 1 to 3 is a huge gap with Unioda, Zane Trace, and Adina. So maybe I should really say 8 to 4 because I think Unioda, Adina, and Zane Trace are your top 3. Don't know what order. If I had to guess, well, we have that.
We know that probably Unioda is probably going to be our preseason number 1 team. Coming out.
So who you picking as your sleeper team? I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but
so my sleeper team to win the league is probably going to be Adina, but my dark horse team to like do really well, better than a lot of people expected, is going to be Paint Valley.
I think this is going to sound really, really weird. I don't know if I could. I'm gonna say it. If it's not a sleeper, you can tell me because I would definitely agree. But I'll fight on this case too. I think just like football, Zane Trace is a sleeper team again because who's really talking about him? Yeah. All people talk about with Zane Trace is what they lost.
They're not a sleeper team. They are a team that will be slept on.
Yeah,
that is. The best
I
way
think
to put
that
it.
they're
a good team that people are just going to be like,
they'll finish 2 or 3. They won't finish first. I think they can really win the league.
They could, and if they don't win the league, maybe they go farther in the playoffs.
And for my sleeper team, sorry, who was your sleeper team to do better than?
Oh, Paint Valley is my
that's what I thought.
My dark horse team.
My dark horse is going to be Westfall.
Yeah,
I think that they still have a lot from last year on that sectional title run game. I think that they have no eyes on them, and I thought they looked pretty good against Zane Trace of all teams. I'm pretty sure that game was like 17-17.
Shout out Brody Clark, I think.
Yeah,
from number 0, got a motor on him.
Yeah,
but I'll say there's somebody in our production side of things that said maybe they're going to finish bottom, maybe they're going to finish 7th. I'm not going to say whose name it is. But one of them told me, "Hey,
are they a Michigan fan?"
I don't know. I can't tell you because I can't tell you exactly. I'll give it away.
Tony, I know you weren't there. I don't know how much you got to see of the preview, but who's your? We were talking. Who's your dark horse?
Zane Trace.
Really?
Is that a dark horse?
So that's what I was saying.
So that's
because they won the gold ball last year, right?
I know,
lost a lot of people, and now I don't think anybody's thinking they're going to.
My thing was, I said that they're not necessarily a sleeper team. They're a team that's going to get slept on.
They have staples and leftover shooters. I don't want to call them leftovers.
The
but I'm just saying
coach.
when you have like a state.
Also, let's not forget they have
right.
Gunner, the stunner.
Coming up, you got Carter Langley. You got guys like that.
Dude, Carter Langley in a basketball uniform compared to a football uniform. He looked. I was like, he's a rip.
I'm surprised he wasn't out there blogging.
Landon Gerald.
Okay.
What you need when you want turnover success is a steady big man to give you calmness.
Yeah.
When you're a wild guard, when you're a 3-point shooter, which like the 2 guys coming back again, we'll get better with the names, and I apologize for kind of blowing.
Hey, we didn't know anybody going into football.
2 very good 3-point shooters that were just coming in for time, but one of them, I believe, was even in the top 10 for 3 points made last year with Sanders. So with that being said, like the shooters are there. I think if you have a good calming presence in the middle, obviously a great coach. I don't know, like for me, Do you think to call it a dark horse at that
I
point,
think they're going to do well no matter what. They're again, like we said,
Coach Kello
top
doesn't do
three.
bad.
Yeah, top 3 in the league: Uniota, Zane Trace, Adina. Like those are the top
So
3
is it a
schools
dark
to start
horse
off.
then?
Yeah,
If not, then Piketon was the other one that I actually
that
feel
one would
like-
be a good.
Okay,
one.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of crazy because you say Piketon, I say Westfall. They actually played each other last year for the semifinal in the sectional, and I think Westfall carries on from last year into this year. They finished 4th. Maybe they sneak past Adina or Zane Trace
Got a new
or
facility out there.
Uniota to get to 3rd. I mean, maybe they do.
Oh wait, no, they're in the same old gym, aren't they?
I don't know. I've been very confused.
Yeah, I keep hearing
They have
I
a
keep-
new stadium. It's not for
Yeah.
them. Like I don't know what's going on. We'll figure it out this year though.
Yeah, we'll find
And
out.
here's another thing. People don't talk about this enough when it comes to the SVC and like records and stuff like that, where you fall in the league. What does your schedule look like? Because again, it's a lot different now than it was. Like sometimes you play on Friday, then the girls play, which again, not complaining, it's just different, right?
Yeah, if you
to where
can
when
get-
I played, it was Friday, Saturday. You played Friday night, you woke up the next morning, you had a game that night. And it would suck ass if you played Uniota the night before, right? And then we would play like Southeastern, who when I was in school was like, they weren't bad, but they weren't good. Like they were definitely a team we should beat. But when you have to play them after you just played the number 1 team in the league the next day, and they played like Piketon, which, again, at the time I was playing was kind of like in the middle, not at the top. They're going to be a lot more energized. They're going to have a lot more legs in to where we're just in a dogfight. We're playing 4 platoons coming in. You know what I mean? Like it matters.
And maybe you're like maybe you're like third. You're 3rd place fighting against Uniota and Zane Trace, and Uniota one night, and then Zane Trace the second night. Maybe Zane Trace they just played the 8th school,
Exactly.
and they're like, yeah, we got to rest our starters half the game. So
Exactly. So it matters about scheduling. It really does. A lot more. I think it matters a lot more than it does in college and in the NBA. Is high school scheduling and how that's going to shape out, because
So is Westfall a dark horse?
that's what I put them on my dark
No,
horse.
but what's considered a dark horse?
I'm talking about dark horse as in like
I feel like they all have a chance to be pretty good.
that's what I'm saying. I think the league's pretty. So what we were saying was
Look at Southeastern. Here's what I'll say about Southeastern, dude. It is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I think after the midpoint of the season, when these dudes are just in way better athletic
Yeah,
shape,
because-
they're playing just 40 minutes. I don't care about wear and tear. Like, there's going to be games where people are going to give up, and they're just going to be like, oh, I played entire freaking games.
that's why I'm
no
picking
break.
Adinas, because they're cross country champs, SVC cross country champs.
Richie
dude.
Dollar's on the team, too.
yeah.
Andy just gave an audible woo because alum.
Woo. All right, so we're going to do it now. We'll start with the girls. Our way too early SVC predictions.
Uniota.
You know.
Okay? Second place.
That's it. That's the list for me.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
list.
No.
Adam, I'll start with you. You're 1 through 8. Here they are right here. What are you thinking? I think we're on you. And Unio's win the league.
Yeah, I think.
I think 1 and 2 is easy. Unio
Yeah, I was
and
about to
Adina.
say.
Unio and Adina. Now, this is where it gets exciting.
Now I'm gonna put Southeastern as my 3.
I like that. Tony, who's your 3? I'm going
Aubrey
to go.
McGuire plays ball, too, right? Basketball?
Mhm.
Westfall.
Are you talking about Aubrey Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's who I'm going with my 3. I'm going to go with Westfall as my 3.
She's the only. Shout out her.
Because you said Southeastern.
Yes.
I'm going to swap you.
See, I'm swapping you.
Yeah, because I'm going to go
Yeah.
Southeastern 4. I'm going to go Southeastern
Yeah,
4.
I got Westfall 4.
And then I got Piketon after Southeastern. And
I'm
then
still-
I have Paint Valley. And then I have Huntington.
I'm rocking with
Paint
into
Valley,
that
again,
list.
Paint Valley is going to be good this year. They have a really, 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 really good coach out there. It's just going to take some time, I think, to get – because they had a great stretch of not just good athletes, but good athletes that liked each other, that played well together with a good coach. Now, I feel like she has that, but she's like starting it – almost kind of starting over. You know what I mean? So I think there's going to be a step build this year into a bunch more years of goodness to come. But that's how I got this year.
Anybody say Adina's got a chance?
I think
don't
they
know,
have a
I
chance.
got them.
I think they have a chance.
That was the second, right? It was
I
you,
think
Adina.
I think it's what it is Adina has to win has to win the first matchup against Union. Because if they don't, that second matchup is going to be tough.
Yeah, especially depending on how the season kind of plays.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if they lose the first one and they're on a roll, and that's the only one they've lost going into the Union game, maybe. But I think you have to win the first one to keep.
You have to. That's the one to win too, just because you worry about cohesion and things like that for you.
And Union might go into it with a big head.
And if
Exactly.
if that's really early in the season, that can kind of set the tone for
Yeah.
how you're going to play. If it's early in the conference play, it's
Now-
definitely going to set the tone for conference play.
I will tell you, if it's early in conference play and Union does lose to Adina, RIP to every other team on that revenge tour.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh, if it's, I hope it's first game and last
Yeah,
game,
that
so we
would-
get the build all season.
Oh man! Oh, whew. All right. Now on the boys' side, I'll do my 8. I'm gonna go with Yoon Yoda. I'm gonna go with Zane. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go Yoon Yoda. I'm gonna go with Dina. I'm gonna go Zane Trace, Westfall, Piketon, Southeastern, Paint Valley, Huntington. Paint Valley, Huntington, boys and girls, going to be kind of on the lower side. So that's going to be my top 8.
So, 8th place for me, Huntington.
Okay.
Then I got Piketon coming in 7th.
Okay.
Then I got Westfall coming in 6th. 5th, I got Southeastern.
Okay.
Paint Valley's coming in 4th.
All right.
Then I got Zane Trace
Okay.
coming in 3rd.
All right. Are you going to do it?
No, okay. Uniota's just got too good looking of a coach out there. Uniota's 1, Adina's number 2.
I was like, is he going to
No, I
do
couldn't.
it? Is he going to put? I thought you were about to put Dina 1 there.
No, I couldn't. I think just Adina's just a really athletic school. I think they got the pieces, they got the bench.
Union's
You know,
got a lot of
we
experience.
saw new hoops coming in, basically just rolling out of the playoffs, saying, "Oh, let me hit 2 threes here." You know,
Yeah, like it was wow.
yeah.
All right.
And he's not somebody that I'm expecting to do a whole lot on the basketball. So I think he's going to be kind of like your field general.
He's a role player when
Yeah,
it comes to basketball.
He's going to be your field general, your second in command. Basically, he's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're the second platoon, and you're going to lead the second platoon. Make sure nobody's doing anything stupid. You kind of
yeah.
lead. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you're not.
And
You're just
you need a
facilitating.
kid like him to do something like that because he's the kind of guy that will embrace that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
be like,
especially, it's like, dude, look at me. I'm embracing my role, and I was starting quarterback and breaking all these records just last fall, like
last
last
week.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can come and do this, then yeah, you can take you can not shoot as much bad shots.
Which
you know.
it's something that again he going to a different school, but Coach Lakeem said he goes, we need people to understand their roles, what their role is, and how to maximize their role to make us better.
And that's why I got them coming in 4th in the league instead of second to last. Clay, I thought you went there.
Motivation.
I guess I'm gonna have to be the Paint Valley homer this basketball season.
Tony,
I got you guys.
what's your way too early SVC prediction on the boys' side?
I think it's easier when I'm unprepared. It's like when I have-
because it's just like
well, it's like you read about
Yeah.
you done your research, but let's go with like why can't I say Westfall does this?
I know.
okay,
It's so
you
hard.
can. It's
You
the way
can.
too early prediction.
Westfall, Unioda,
I just hear Andy go.
Whoa.
Oh no, hold on. I'll go Westfall, Unioda,
I love he said hold
Zane
on. like-
Trace, Adina,
okay.
Piketon, Southeastern Huntington.
So this is my reasoning for Zane Trace.
PV, I'll put below Piketon,
Okay. Okay.
so
See-
they'll be third to last.
See, my reasoning for Zane Trace coming in 3rd is I think Adina's going to be successful in turning a couple of these basketball matches into track meets.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's going to happen.
Alrighty, so that's our 2 early basketball predictions for the SVC. Now let's get to some college hoops, fellas.
I'm gonna have to
And-
rewatch this to remember what I just said.
I'm gonna have to write it down.
Somebody write it down.
Yeah.
Like, ah.
Well, I have my list. I was changing it.
Now we get to some college hoops, and there's one guy that's been still lighting it up, Cam Evans. Andy, if you could pull up that picture that I sent to Derek on Facebook, he has been on absolute fire. Just got picked, I think, as teammate of the month or of the week. It was. Let me see. Yep, that's the one right there. If you could pull that up for us real quick, Andy. Yeah, so that's Cam Evans. He won Teammate of the Month here. It said MBB senior Cam Evans voted OAC Player of the Week. Sorry, after averaging 18.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals across a pair of games with Denson and Kenyon. The combo guard shot 45% from the field and 88% from the free throw line. Dude.
Clay over here. Oh, he's a teammate. He's a player of the week for
I
his
couldn't
conference.
remember.
And you're trying to say he's a the team voted him teammate. Player of the week.
Hey, expert journalism over here. Expert journalism. You know what else? He's getting inducted to the hall.
About to say, I think
on
he's coming
Friday.
home.
Yes, coming. He will be at the St. Trace Classic on Friday, getting put where he deserves in the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame, somewhere Coach Shu needs to go.
Yes, we'll say it every time.
Every time we talk about the Hall of Fame, we got to
Put
talk
Shu
about
in the
Coach Shu
Hall.
going to the Hall.
But yeah, we will be at the game on Friday. We'll even get Cam to be on the air with us, talk with us a little bit. So we'll be super, super excited about that.
I just saw T-Bag.
Oh. The cornrows, man.
He looks
The
so
cornrows.
goofy, dude.
But no, so I'm super excited to see a ZT legend, an SVC legend, still doing good things in college, and again, 18.5 points, and just putting people on notice, man. He's doing his thing.
Leading scorer for his team when they exhibition game
Got
against
voted
OU.
as team player of the month by his team
Let's just say 7 rebounds,
as a guard.
almost 2 steals.
As a guard,
Oh, it's like, oh, he's not doing guard things, getting those rebounds. But what about the 2 stullies?
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take those with it.
Two studies. I like that. Xavier, speaking of college basketball, Xavier Xavier gets
American
back
Dad.
on track. We talked about them last week. They play that number 2. Now I'm pretty sure number 1 Purdue team. Freaking tough, man. Didn't get the win there. Talked with Dante a little bit though. He said they had some things that they noticed they need to work on, and they definitely hit him because they won Friday, and I think they won again today, or no, yesterday. Big. I mean, it was big, and we'll be having Dante on next week to talk about the big game they have going on against Cincinnati, who is still undefeated, next Friday. So that's going to be a big one. Crosstown rivalry?
Take him out, and I'm driving straight up there, bud.
Yeah.
I want to be part of the festivities.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah, that's
I know
gonna,
they can do it.
I think Xavier, man, Coach Miller has something good going down there. I know coming back after, what happened over at Arizona, allegedly. He's back. I think he has a little bit more. I don't want to say he didn't have pride, but I feel like it's almost more like a different outlook. I'll say, and talking with Dante, talking about what they're doing over there. Come March time, man, they could be another big problem. They were in the Sweet 16 last year. I don't know if people can remember that because again, March, there's so much shit that happens in basketball. It's insane. But they could be busting some brackets. You guys watch Xavier at all?
I've watched a couple of them. I
say,
watched him
they've
play
been-
Purdue. Again, Edie's just such a hard person to guard. That is that big guy's name,
Yeah,
right?
and then Xavier has this number 50. I have to do a little bit better research. But he went toe to toe with you.
Yeah,
for
he
a
did.
while.
He played him hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about it is, like, you'll have a little guy, he'll play him really well for a long period of time. It's just like, playing him 40 minutes like that or 30 minutes, however long he plays, it's
tough.
hard. It's
Yeah.
a difficult task. You're going to get worn down,
I
because
think
it's just
more
these.
of you get bored.
Yeah.
It's like Zach Edey is like, dude, go away.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Come
said
on,
this
dude.
to
This guy's like, I'm
T-Bag just the
tired
other
of being
day.
like ferocious defender on you because
Yeah.
all I do is just get backed down like a wall.
Yeah. Like, I'm
My
tired
thing
of
is,
giving my.
how's this fun for Edie? He's just like 30 points, right rebound,
It's like, by minute 28, I'm really going to be backing you down, bro. Get out of here.
But then keeping it going, Butler. That's a team that I like to keep my eye on. They're not looking too bad. I watched them in the
Butler
ES
more like Shuttler.
Yeah, they shut my bank account down with how much money I lost on over the one game. 4-1. The Thad Mata's looking good over there. North Carolina is doing pretty good. What these kind of lead me into, man, is Thanksgiving. Got to watch it a whole bunch. Friday, Saturday kept going. These early in-season tournaments are awesome, dude. They're absolutely electric. The early season NIT, the Bahama one that they have going now, and the Maui. I mean,
the lawnmower one.
yeah, the Battle for Atlantis.
Yeah, Battle for Atlantis.
It was insane, dude. Like, Tony, I'm watching these and I'm like, man, it kind of gives you an idea of what's going to happen maybe in March because you know what they can do in a tournament setting. I mean, you're playing a game every single day.
You're fresh.
Yeah,
It's a lot different later on
March,
down the road
when you're hurt.
And that's what it used to be. The biggest thing is like the number 1 seed versus the 16 seed was just they were so much more athletic than the other ones that it just didn't matter. Even if they were leading at halftime, they never won.
Yeah.
But I think, athletes are a different story nowadays.
Especially with the NIL and that you can stay in college for like 17 years. It really has evened
Yeah, one
out.
guy's being a quarterback at 27. Is that it?
Josh
Seriously?
Whedon did that before that was even a thing. He only went to college for 4 years. He's 27 when he graduated. Started late bloomer.
Started late.
And got a playoff victory, didn't he?
So
I don't know. He played for the Browns for a long time, so he
That's
didn't
what
get
I'm
one
saying.
there.
No, I thought is that the guy who got your one victory? Your one playoff victory in the
Baker
last
Mayfield?
no, not before that one. I'm saying. I think it was
Those are-
Brandon Whedon, dude.
Brandon Whedon was terrible.
No, they had
Brandon
the
Whedon was
last
so
one was like
bad. They were cheering for
2004.
Colt McCoy to get
There
in the
was
game.
one season where some guy was like not
Derek
Kelly
Anderson.
Holcomb. Derek Anderson.
Yeah.
That's the guy I'm looking for.
We should have went to the playoffs at 10-6 when we got cheated by the freaking shit Ravens. I mean, hate it. Who are we liking for college basketball? I'm telling you who I like because
Villanova.
of course. I'm telling you who I like because they were number 1 last year, then they were shit. North Carolina. They look like they actually got it figured out. They have a couple of pretty good guards down there. That Bocock guy, he had 15 rebounds, but he also had 15 missed shots. So
As much as I hate to say this, a team that I think is going to be doing really well this is Tennessee. As a Florida fan, hate saying
I was
it.
like, why do you hate? I
Hate
was
saying it.
thinking Louisville, so I was like, why would you hate saying that?
No.
Yeah, Tennessee, they're what, 7th right now? They lost
Yeah.
again. That Maui was loaded though, dude.
I think Florida's also going to have a pretty good season. As looking at their football season, I have to be all in on this basketball season.
Yeah.
They got to win. They got to.
See that Maui, you had Purdue,
But no.
you had Gonzaga, you had Tennessee, you had
Constance or Constantine.
yeah, and
Some-
I want to say Kansas, right? Yeah, and Kansas was in there.
One of those wasn't like the other. For
Dude,
real.
that's what. Okay, so when you look at it, like UCLA, Gonzaga, Kansas, Shalamala, like that.
It's like we got Ohio State, we got Kentucky, we got Duke, we got North Carolina, we got
Ohio
Cleveland
University
State.
Chillicothe.
Yeah, I was going with Cleveland State, but yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Well, they're like, hey, let's take all these really good schools and then one just shit school. But Syracuse, I think, was in it too.
Yeah, it's like we can't do a bye week, so we'll give this guy.
But yeah, I'm going North Carolina. So you saying Florida? Is that somebody that you're kind of liking this year? Or no, Tennessee.
Tennessee, but I'm rooting for Florida. I think they're going to have a better year than they did last year. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I think
Villanova
Tennessee's-
didn't look bad. They beat North Carolina.
They did. They did.
All right, didn't need the wink there.
Clay
Why do you
lost-
think I said it right
Clay-
after you said your dumb crap? No, but,
Clay lost money on that one.
A lot. A lot.
Not much money as Teabag lost this past Saturday betting on his Buckeyes.
Yeah.
University of Houston as well. Houston,
Yeah.
I love their coach.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Dude, he
and
literally
they've
recruits-
been this close like so many years.
Sam Houston's a smaller school. That's
They were terrible in football.
Yeah, but they're exciting to watch in basketball.
I just remember that because
He comes in, he grabs kids that he's like, look, dude, I'll give you a college scholarship. If you can stay straight, you'll be
good.
like, dope.
Yeah.
And that's why I like
If you can stay straight, you will be dope. That
Dude.
would be a weird thing to say to me. I'm sorry.
but they would understand it.
They would. They
What are
would
you
get
gonna say?
it.
Buddy, I'll tell you what. Hello, good day, mate. What
I'll
were we
tell
saying?
you. I'll tell you
What
what,
was
old
the top
sport.
of the
I
morning?
say, yeah, if you can stay straight, you'll be dope, old sport.
Jeez. Alrighty, so time to get on to one of my new favorite segments of the week. It is Song of the Week.
I'm unprepared.
Last week we did our Song of the Week. I went with Easy Win from the Grateful Dead. My dad's favorite song on the first album he bought for me, Working Man's Dead. It's just special to me, so that's what I went with. You went with what was the song that you picked? I can't remember.
It was by the 4 Non Blondes. It's called
Yeah.
What's Up?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, you were with what's up for your mom. Tony, you weren't here last week, so we'll let you pick your song. All we do is just pick a song that we like, why we like it, and tell the people to go listen to it.
Well, I think we did it the week before that too, because I said use your love.
Oh, yeah, we did. So what is your song for the
Or
week?
no, it was the same week, but I guess I did it in the.
Yeah, you called in. Yeah, you called
Yeah.
in.
What is my?
What's your song for the week?
I just
That's
don't
a
know
tough
which
one.
direction to go. Do I want to give somebody new music?
No.
Give them your music.
Be Tony.
Like, what's something
Let
you're
them
putting on?
see into your life.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. These are quite good. But here, I'm gonna give one for the youngins out there.
Okay.
There's a song called "Trials and Tribulations" by Ace Hood.
Ace Hood. That's
Yep.
one. All right, what do you go with that one for?
Only because I listened to it a couple times today, and it's just some of the stuff that's in it just makes you.
After the
really
weekend
feel
he
like-
had, the trials and tribulations she went through this past weekend.
Let me get it back. Let me get it back.
Alrighty,
I know
Adam.
where-
I'm going with Dark Necessities on the Getaway album by Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's an album from 2017.
I'm sorry.
I thought
After
you would
said
go with
that, I
the
kept-
Andre 3000 flute album.
I'm not gonna lie. After he said that, the only thing I kept thinking, it's the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Sorry, that's the only thing I can think of. What do you go with that one for?
Honestly, love the
Steve?
Chili Peppers. I would say, unfortunately, it doesn't have John Frusciante on it. Their original guitarist, he came back later. Got to see him live just recently. But they had a backup who he's pretty good. But I don't know. It's just it was. I was happy to see Red Hot Chili Peppers coming out with a new album. You know, they came
Yeah.
out with another one in 2023 as well. So it's just my favorite band, being old guys, still coming out with music. I just liked it.
Nice. I'm gonna go with "Do It Again" by Steely Dan, just because I feel like that's a song that you just put on riding in the car,
Riding the wave.
Yeah,
with
just
your
riding the
boys.
weight of life, having a good time. Yeah, people love that. But yeah, that's a song that I just get down to.
you born the morning rising,
You know what people love when you sing songs they don't know the words to.
Those were the words.
No, me. I was
Oh.
over there going. All right, so
my
that
word.
will wrap up our song of the week. I think we had some good ones in there. Go give those a listen. Have a good time of your life. Thanks to us. Off next to college football, and one thing that we've been wanting to talk about this entire time. Down goes the Buckeyes. Tony, you are our Buckeye fan on the show. How are you feeling Saturday? Andy literally just jumped through the roof. Andy, you're paying for that.
Do it like you've done it before, would you? Come on now, these people.
Oh.
Do you realize that they counted the victories against local high schools
Everybody.
in that 1,000?
Everybody did that.
I
Everybody
love
did
having
that.
Ohio State, Michigan people on the same set.
Anyways, look, you win 3 in the last 13. Congratulations, have yourself a blast. But it allows for us to make the changes that we properly need. What's your wide receiver coach's name? He should bell nobody. You had no first-round draft picks. Rashawn Gary, Taco Tarleton's trash.
What Andy had said was,
Notre Dame won by a lot.
What has Aiden Hutchinson done? Nothing. 4.5 sacks ain't shit, bitch. I apologize. Anyways, Michigan is doing really well at developing talent like Donovan Peoples-Jones, 5-star wide receivers that go there and appear nothing, come out of the 6th round and do well enough to get 800 yards a season.
Hey,
But
we liked him at the
that's what I'm saying, 800 yards a season. I'm just saying, how's he pop into the NFL and pop off for 800 for no reason, but yet he couldn't get 300 at Michigan? I don't know. But
So
either way.
you definitely have taken the loss pretty well.
I have, because it's like really nice to watch. It's like Harbaugh comes out and he's like, well, let me tell you, they kind of chalk up all the hatred for one another. It's like, did you, dude? That's not really how you felt before it actually mattered, buddy. It didn't matter that you're not going to be coaching there next year, that you get to talk out of pocket now. It's soft, dude. Everything they're doing is, well, if you came to a Michigan practice, I'll tell you right now, you're going to watch somebody that's working harder than anybody else in the league. That's an exact quote from your quarterback. It's sad. Go to Georgia and watch a real practice.
All right. So, yeah, Michigan lost to Ohio State. It was a pretty good game, pretty close game. T-Bag lost like $500. That sucks for him.
something I completely forgot about is they didn't even do it with their head coach. They did it with the interim head coach.
Yeah, interim head
The
coach.
guy was not really
That was
performing close
that
up.
was out there.
I think that could have been something that helped him out because that guy was like, it's not my job to lose. I'll go for it
I'll
on
go
fourth
for
down
it
every damn
I
time.
have 4 downs
Yeah.
every single
I
time.
know, that was that.
He was playing for 4th and 1.
I was like, Actually, Coach Shoemaker said it. He said that it was just a case of Ohio State not being quite as aggressive, possibly.
Bye, Kyle.
Yeah, I said he also said that
Bye,
Kyle was not the
Kyle.
guy.
Dude, you don't have it. If you get an entire season and you don't make any jump whatsoever, look at Justin Fields. Look
I
at
think
CJ
it's by
Stroud.
Ryan Day.
JT Barrett, you take an L and you keep going. You can do these types of things, but he has not gotten better at all.
Yeah, I would agree
I
with
think
that. I
it's
used
time
to
to
think
get
that
a
he
new
was kind of
quarterback
a
and a
good
new
guy,
coach
like
there
good.
for Buckeye State.
New quarterbacks coach too. Bring back JT Barrett.
He was a quarterbacks coach for you guys?
No, he's a quarterback coach for the Lions.
Yeah, I'm not leaving the Lions at an NFL job.
He's
to
an
go to Ohio
assistant
State.
quarterback coach for the Lions. He should come be our quarterback coach at Ohio State. He'd like that job better anyways. He wouldn't have to pay for bills or food bills. He'd go out to any restaurant and people would just be like,
Hey, come here because
"It's on me."
we'll pay for your restaurant stuff. Alabama had a close call, though. Did you see that? That was terrible. Auburn sucks, dude. Freaking
There was no
third
holding.
and goal from the 30. Or sorry, fourth and goal from the 30. You have complete prevent. Alabama got wide open in the back left corner. Touchdown, game over.
There was a blatant hold too, by the way. Did you see that? That one guy on the right side, it was just literally like,
Oh, this is our old episode. We need to not do that.
Look at that handsome man on the left.
Black. But yeah, no,
Wait, what'd you say?
we're talking about Alabama losing or beating Auburn. Stupid. It was the worst. It was the worst loss I've ever freaking seen, dude.
no, the Miami one from the season was that was so bad. You don't kneel the ball.
Oh, the Miami one.
That
That's
was-
true.
that
That's
was
one.
the
That
worst
was way worse. I'll go ahead and say that one was way worse. And then I felt like that this year has definitely shown we need to have the expansion playoff.
Yeah.
Need to have it. Like thank God it's coming next year. Then
Honestly, best thing to do, take all the Power 5 conferences. First playoff game, Ohio State, Michigan. And then the conference championship, that's the second round of the playoffs right
Yeah.
there. And then from there, you just go into bowl games.
They don't deserve that.
yeah, Ohio State.
Neither one of them. I said neither one of them. Keep it down. Damn it. Being realistic. Don't act like your team doesn't suck.
All right, so we're
Mine
going to
does,
transition into the NFL.
We have Marvin Harrison Jr. That's it. We don't have anybody better, but I tell you, we have Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, if it's one thing I'm sick and tired of hearing Gus Johnson say is Maserati Marv. I hate that so much.
I actually like it.
Damn.
Well, it's a cool nickname, but
You
I just hate that he
hate it.
says it 1,000 times a game.
Do you hate it? Tell me more about how you hate it.
Tell me you hate that.
I would, but we're kind of transitioning to NFL right
I was
here.
about to say that if we go over to the NFL, I'm just going to say it one time. The Browns suck. They ripped my heart out again, and we're done
so
with
if
it.
you guys lose enough games, you know who could change a franchise? It's
No.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Don't want them. Thanksgiving football this year, I'm going to say it, sucked.
It did. It sucked.
was
It
horrible,
drained
dude.
my
It was
money.
not fun. I didn't think there's really any great games. It was just boring.
Yeah.
Give us good football.
Actually, I had to make conversation with my uncles and
yeah,
stuff like that.
I had to talk to people.
Yeah,
That's what the football is for, not talk to people. I did not think it was good. CMC is an alien. I think we sent you that video, Andy. Did you see what his bruises looked like, dude? It was disgusting. I think he was like, he was actually like bleeding in the bed and stuff like that. It was insane. This is coming off of the Instagram, I think, from either him or his wife. That's her showing that there's some blood spots in the bed. You can't really see it a whole bunch of the video, but that's his arm.
Who, Harbaugh?
No, this is Chris McCaffrey's arm. Look at that. That's disgusting, man. I mean, he's ripped, but his arms are
it's just
destroyed.
Yeah, he's literally got huge bruises on both arms. It's
Yeah.
just,
Got a touchdown though.
yeah, he did
No.
almost every game.
And then Philly, Tony, want to talk to you about yesterday's Philly game. Wow, Andy, I think I sent you a video of a Philly affiliate being raised right. But I wanted to ask you before we show this video, Tony, what a comeback win. How are you feeling as an Eagles fan?
Better than the Cowboys.
They won too,
You
though.
filthy dirtbags.
The Cowboys
Yeah, did
won.
you see how they did it? Complete robberies. Everything I saw on Thanksgiving was worse than the was worse than a lot of things happened on Plymouth Rock.
That was one of the things happened on Thanksgiving since when Thanksgiving was invented.
I caught myself, but I'm telling you, the Dallas Cowboys were robbing those Washington Commanders blind on
Well,
Thanksgiving.
you see, one thing that's
No,
not being robbed of in Philly is childhood and good being raised right. As you see in this video here, Tony, this is one Eagles fan that has been raised right. This is a young Eagles fan going to the Bills fan, gives him the bird.
Here's
Just
what I'll
completely
say.
flipped him off.
There's a time and place for everything, and I guarantee you the father of that child looked at him and said, gave him the nod. He goes over, doses him up. Not only does the father have one of the best memories he's had to give to anybody at work the next day, you got the damn video of your son being a hoss.
Going
Now,
viral.
I guarantee you that same kid gets the worst ass beating of his life if
Yeah.
that finger is pointed at his father.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's justification here in Philadelphia, and I'm tired of you people missing it.
I loved
Shout
it.
Gary Williams.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was one of the greatest things I saw all weekend.
Dude,
It
the
was
thing
one of the
is,
goodest things
he
I saw
goes
all
back,
weekend.
and like the way he comes back, it wasn't like he didn't know what he did. That was specific to you, buddy.
He looked at his dad.
Hey,
And
Dad,
see what I did?
I can give him the finger, right?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, son.
One of
he's our
those
Bill.
things.
That's
I
the one
swear
you do,
they
yeah.
looked at each other, and he's like, "He's a piece of crap."
You
Isn't
can
he,
tell
Dad?
too that kid's been doing it all day, but two Eagles fans, his dad's like, no, it's to the other team, and he finally gets one, and he's like, Dad, that one right? He goes, yeah.
No,
See,
he
that's
did
why
it
it's
once
called-
in the car, and he goes, "No, only to Bills fans." And he said, "Dad, is he a piece of crap?"
That was the
one
first
over
Bills
there, and he
fan
said,
they saw.
"Yes, son,
Yeah.
he's a big old piece of crap." And that's what they did. They rolled
That's
over
why
there.
it's called the bird, is because everybody in Philadelphia.
Shout
would be
Jalen
flipping it.
Carter. More respect to the D tackles.
Did you
That
see him
dude's
almost get that?
absolute
Was it
legend.
Jalen Carter that almost intercepted the spike? That
He
was
also
insane.
blocked a field goal last night.
Oh yeah, he did do
literally,
that. That was
he
crazy.
literally
Same
said,
game.
He said I was bored, so I tuned into their special teams footage, saw a couple gaps I thought I could jump on, and did. Like, dude, I don't know. He's the
Be
same
bored
guy.
more often.
Yeah, but the whole thing is he's also the dude that like got in a fucking drag racing incident, and somebody ended up dead. So it's kind of crazy.
I shouldn't have laughed at that. Alrighty, so
Something hard.
we're gonna go on to our new segment on the show. It's really not a segment, more of just a game. We thought it'd be more fun, give us a little bit more conversation. It's gonna be a little Would You Rather. So we're gonna play a little Would You Rather here on the show. First one we have up: Would you rather drink a gallon of mayo or a gallon of ranch?
Can I opt out and just use death instead? Like,
No.
it's like,
No,
Gotta pick one or
Oh.
the other.
I can go first.
Yeah.
I'm going ranch just for consistency.
Yeah.
If you have to drink it, I could drink ranch. It's not about choosing one or the other. The mayo, try to slurp that down. You're gonna get it like a
oh,
hard
dude,
milkshake. Like,
yeah, you're basically eating it by the spoonful.
yeah, it's-
God, I hate
Oh.
ranch.
ranch, at least you could just sit there, take your time. You could straw it. if
I'm
you wanted
puking
to.
for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
It's going to be
without-
awful either
yeah.
way. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'd love to drink a gallon of ranch.
I'd love. When did you get a text? You listen here. Dude, that ranch is good. So you're going
Dude,
to
I
ranch.
officially said I've been in Ohio over 10 years now. I'm an Ohioan. So now I can do it. Now I can do Ohio accents.
Yeah, that's how we talk down here in Southern
When
Ohio.
I moved here, that's what I heard.
That's
Welcome to Walmart.
alrighty.
Oh, sorry.
Adam, mayo or ranch?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna pick mayo so I can get too big of a piece and choke and die on it before I have to finish it. Just one big piece and just die. I'm not gonna do that motion. I'm gonna hand scoop it and just
This is me.
I.
try to suffocate myself with it or something so I don't have to finish the whole thing. I couldn't do a gallon.
You know what? I'm gonna go with ranch just so that when I tell people I hate ranch, I can finally have a justification for it.
I drank a gallon of it, idiot. I know what it tastes like.
I'm done with it.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been to places you ain't never been.
Alrighty, so we go ranch, mayo. Now your next would you rather? Would you rather have to use utensils to eat everything or never use them again?
Never use them again. Hands down. Bam.
Why you say never use them again?
Because the thing is, the hands were the original utensil, and society made it inappropriate for you to eat with your hands. I can also look at them, and if they know me by social media at that point, I can't use them anyways.
My first thing was, how am I going to eat chips?
Dude, everything.
I'm going with utensils.
Well, all right. Why are you going with utensils?
So you know me,
All right,
like
so you're giving up the chip life.
I mean, basically, it would be something like that. Would be like as soon as you said that, I'd be like, man, I just have to give him up.
Tongs.
Yeah,
I'd
You
have to give
use
him up.
large
No,
salad-
no.
I was thinking
like, this
chopsticks.
Is like your
Just
this is like your fork, spoon, knife.
No, I'm using chopsticks.
I
That is
guess
the
that
action.
counts.
So
Yeah.
literally, you could just chopstick, hold bag, scoop. I guess.
I would just not
But,
eat
yeah,
it.
no,
ever
I mean,
again.
I probably wouldn't eat them again. But my thing is, you know how I am with my hands. I don't like
That's true.
stuff getting on my hands. Like
Yeah.
as soon as they get like something sticky or just anything that's foreign, I'm washing my hands.
Spaghetti with your hands.
See, like that's something like as soon as you
I've
get
done
done,
it 1,000 times.
he's
Yeah,
he's
pocket
got
spaghetti.
Italian in
That's
his blood.
such an easy. Because the thing is, you can go long noodle and go straight.
Oh wait, hold on, I didn't think. Well, I can just use fork and knife for pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna eat it like a caveman.
Sometimes,
get
sometimes I use.
Tony's
fork
gonna
and knife.
hate me.
Here's the few things
Tony's
that
gonna
can
fight me every
Sometimes
time I
I
eat
use my fork
pizza.
and knife for the pizza, anyways. so.
Depends. It depends.
Tony's
It's
gonna
fine,
fight
I'm
me every
not
time
ready.
he sees me eating pizza that way.
And then the worst one's gonna be your wings. Like after you've like dug apart
Oh,
with the
that
utensils,
is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
look at you
hard.
and just be like, "Did you get it, old boy?"
Yeah, you know it's crazy. I don't eat traditional
Guys,
all
I
that
don't know
much.
which one
I
I'm
could
gonna
give
pick,
up
and I made the
traditional
question.
wings and just stick with boneless.
Yeah, because you good boneless. But then, man, like once you start eating boneless,
At a
you know how
tailgate,
much you're
at
gonna
a tailgate,
miss
dude.
bone-in
You're
Yeah.
at the Chick-fil-A platter, and you're like, "Do you mind if I use my fork?"
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's all right. I'm not huge.
I'm not
gassed
even saying
on,
that. I'm
but
just
yeah.
you roll up to a tailgate platter, period.
yeah.
You'd be like,
Dude,
"Oh,
you know
I
how
see a
lo-
nice piece of
Who are you
donut."
tailgating with? The
You'd
Hoops?
have to eat
Chick-fil-A?
a cheeseburger with like a fork and knife. I feel like you look so weird, especially like if you still want the bun.
Dude, yesterday at Applebee's, somebody asked me for a knife for the burger.
You have to cut it in half.
Yeah, I
I'm
was like,
yeah,
I
just eat
got
like a
that.
man.
I was like, I get that, but they only ate half of it.
I think I gotta go with. So here's where I'm torn, right? I should be torn with which one's more practical for the things I'm going to eat. I'm more of how am I going to look the most dumb? Am I going to look more dumb eating a burger and chips with utensils or eating a steak and spaghetti with my bare hands?
Now, this is my thing with the chopsticks. You could stab at burger, just eat it like on like a corn dog.
Yeah.
And that's another question: is a corn dog, does it technically come with its own utensil, or am I gonna have to stab a fork into a corn dog?
You don't get the wooden stick.
Yeah, you don't get the
luxury.
wooden stick.
Oh,
yes.
well,
you
fine,
don't
I'll
get
just
the
take my
wooden stick.
chopstick and stick it right back up in that hole,
And I'm
bro.
going to name it a corn dog.
I'm gonna call it a
I'm
dog
going
corn.
straight logic because I eat way more chips than I
Oh.
eat steaks in front of other people. And if somebody literally looked at me and I ate that steak as a one whole unit, they'd almost look at me like, "Damn, I wasted a lot of time
Now,
cutting up this."
Something
steak."
else I thought of is like, do you get like the corn cob things? Because those are technically utensils, so like you could just see,
No,
my
yeah.
thing is I just interchange utensils and whatever I use best. Like when he said
No, you
salad
don't
toss,
I
get
gotta
the
get
whole-
utensils.
You don't get the whole drawer. It's
No,
fun-
no. I'm going no utensils for the number one reason that I brought up utensils for everything. Chips.
Listen,
Listen.
what do you eat more of?
Chips. And listen to this. I'm fat. I'm lazy. And I
I'm
like
fat. I'm lazy.
And I like to, drink the alcohol a little bit.
Honestly,
too much.
like the
And
lazy
when you
thing.
come home and you've had a little bit too much chocolate milk and you feel a little woozy, you like to just down a bag of chips. And I can't imagine
bag
taking a
of
fork.
chips. How much hand food have you eaten when you?
You
That's
don't
true,
know
man.
Clay.
If
You
you're
don't know
stumbling-
Clay at all. If you are asking him how much hand food
If you're
he's
stumbling-
eating.
So what do you even have like? This isn't even a question for you. This is the best
Well, if we're
utensil
gonna-
I've ever
listen,
had.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm
like
gonna use
hot dogs.
listen.
I feel like I'd be looking like a fool eating it with a fork.
I'm gonna use
Goddamn
the
fool.
thing that my mom used on me my entire life. If we got invited to the president's house and I could not use utensils, and they just came out with a big old steak, I'm like, "Thank you, Mr. President. That's a pretty good steak." I would feel embarrassed.
Is he gonna go change his policies for you after that happens? Is he gonna say, "Hey, that Clay was well behaved. Let me go ahead"? And
He
say,
might be like, hey,
he
that
might be
new
fat
national
and
law.
lazy,
If
but
you come to the White House, you're using forks and spoons. Damn it! No more of this. We got a savage in here
I'm rolling
eating
right
this
in.
steak with his friend Anthony.
just saying, "Hey, yeah, it really. This is delicious. Who is your chef? He is absolutely.
It's so good I
phenomenal."
can't even use my utensils to take
I'm
some of
gonna
the flavor
look at him and be
away.
like, "Shut up! What have you done for me?"
Sets the
lately?"
steak down, grabs a handful of mashed potatoes. Just,
going to say, what's the area code of Chillicothe, Ohio? You don't care about me.
All right.
He's going to say 740. That's where we're sending our next nuke. Get out. Get out.
All right. So officially, we're going not utensils, utensils.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys are savages.
Should we do one more or should we get on to the draft?
Oh, no, I said one more.
All righty. So going on to one more. Would you rather? Hold on. I got a couple of good ones. I don't know which one I should use. I thought you were definitely gonna say let's go to the draft. I didn't have one more. All right, here I got one. Would you rather get hit by Ray Lewis, no pads on, just standing there, or by a truck going 15 miles an hour, like a full 1500?
That's not even what you looked up.
Because I stopped looking at him, and I just made one up on the spot.
No, he said like tackled hit. Or
I don't
she-
know,
she
Adam.
just
If
punched
you're
you in
paying
the face.
attention, you would know.
He said hit with no pads.
Yeah,
He punched
so,
me in the
this
face.
Talk
is-
about so look.
I'll say pretty much solid question because 15 miles an hour, you have the ability to like bounce off the truck, whereas Ray Lewis will run.
No,
like,
no, is it a
through you
15
kinda
miles?
deal?
Like they're just locking 15. Sorry, the picture fell. In I thought something fell. Is it? Are they locking it at 15 and you're just like rolling over it, or like they hitting you and stopping?
No, they're gonna keep going.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like I wonder because if Ray Lewis keeps going, that means you're getting driven to the ground.
Both
you're
of-
getting
so
whiplash.
both of them are just
and-
You're
going
just
through
stomping
you.
on you.
yeah, but like
yeah,
the,
you're talking about completing the
yeah,
tackle.
like I'm just saying, like dude, like your neck's broken. Like I don't think you make it out of a Ray Lewis.
what
with
if
a broken
we?
neck.
What if we?
You're getting a lot of broken ribs. You're getting your
what
femur
if,
broken.
What if we up the truck speed to 25?
Done.
I feel
You're
like-
done. I'm taking Ray Lewis all day.
I'm taking.
Really?
It's like the 15. I feel like 15. You get hit like you're not walking away unscathed. You got broken ribs. You
but
got a broken femur. I'll take that. But
Okay.
broken neck.
Hold on,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
change it a little bit. I'm gonna change it a little bit. Okay, they're both, let's say, 20 yards away, right?
See, my thing is with the truck. I think the 25 you can still like if you jump right before it hits you and go in and roll into
there's just
it.
a ton you can do with the car. Ray Lewis, he is taking you.
Yeah, I'm
and
not
he
gonna be
is-
able to get away from Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis
and
might
it's
be able
just
to hit
like-
25 miles an hour in his prime. Though,
No
with a
matter
full
how
sprint.
prepared you are, like he's hitting, like your
Okay, so here's
whiplash
another
is
one.
like
Hold on,
dead.
Prep time,
here's
I'm
another
taking
one.
the car.
Would you rather know you're about to get hit or not know you're about to get hit?
If it's a car, I would rather know.
Ray
so I
Lewis.
can,
Yeah,
if
you
it's
got-
Ray Lewis,
yeah.
I would rather not know.
Yeah, you probably just want to be limp and hope everything's
Yeah,
good.
just
See,
be
I feel like if
just
you're
chill.
limp, you get hit by Ray Lewis. This is exactly what your head's doing.
It's the truth, but if it's
Concussion.
loose,
you're
if
more-
you're ready and it does that, though, my thing is like you're gonna be ready, and then it's still gonna do that. Like it's just gonna
Most
rip you
people that get into like wrecks, like if they're drinking and driving, they get into
Do
a
they?
wreck. They usually live because they're just limp, and they're just like, my body got flown out the window, but I was limp.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about due date before the show. That's a scene in that where guy falls asleep driving, and he's the one that doesn't get hurt because he was limp, and the other one woke up in the middle. Oh, could you imagine being asleep? You just wake up, the person's driving asleep, and you're like, I'm in the middle of the air. Like it's not good.
I got an off the air story.
Oh god.
Sweet, love that.
All right, let's get into the draft.
Thought I could roll
Cut!
it in there. I
Cut!
thought in my head multiple times, well, I could say that. No, I'm just
All right,
draft.
So we'll get on to the draft. Today's draft is going to be, we're in a basketball mood. We're in a basketball spirit. So we're going to keep that going here today. We are drafting a 5-man basketball team of cartoon characters. So we're by having a point guard, a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and a center. I think we've done a basketball draft like this before. Tony, you're going to be first up. Who are you drafting, and what position are they going to be playing?
So like we're going away from superheroes. I feel like we should a little bit. That's
Yeah, not superheroes.
that's-
It's
even if
animated
they're-
characters.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're animated superhero, they're off limits on this.
point guard Timmy Turner.
Really? I'm going to need some explanation on that one.
He's got fairies.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
they can't help him win a game. The rules.
They can't help him win a game, but they could probably prep him better, right?
Well,
That's
no,
true.
because he did a whole thing where they made him bigger and taller just so he could win enough money so he could get a V-box. And he literally, it's tie ball game. He's going down, game-winning layup, fumbles, trips, ball bounces off his rim, goes into the other rim, loses.
Sounds like he doesn't need to be number one. He needs to be the point guard.
Timmy Turner.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So
He
you
doesn't
guys-
need
There's
to
a
be
whole
the-
episode where like they can't help influence him win a game. So like he will never be your fourth quarter guy. Until then,
But
he's
he
got
get
it.
I'll
you
take
there.
him for 3.
Yeah, I got
I'll
you.
take him for the. All right. So you got Timmy Turner. Adam, you are next up. Who are you taking and what position?
Don't say Dimsdale, owner of the Dimsdale.
That's my
we're
front-
playing. Is the
that's my
Dimsdale.
front-
We're playing in the Dimsdale. Okay.
It's a tough one.
It is.
I had no prep. I was expecting the historical figures.
No, we're gonna keep that in the back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Tilton.
I don't know nobody. I don't know no cartoons right now. I'm gonna have to go with Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Which one?
The big one.
The dumb one.
The green shirt dumb one.
Yeah, right.
That's my guy. That's my down low.
Power forward
Just-
or center.
He's gonna be my power forward. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Alrighty. So you got
Ed boy.
Ed boy.
Ed boy. Yeah.
Ed me boy. I love that show. All right, so you got Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I'm going to go with my center. And I'm going with somebody that's going to be able to stop you. You ain't going to score on him. You're probably not going to be able to stop him when he has the ball. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Elite.
Dude, I'm so.
You're not going to be able to score on him when he's my center. So I'm going Clifford.
Definitely not doing full court passes. He's catching it right out of the air.
The Big Red Dog. And then for my point guard, I'm tilting. I feel like I need to go big man, and I need to go with my ball controller. So I feel like for my point guard, I'm going to go with somebody. I need them to be athletic. I need for them to be a leader. I need for them to maybe be able to kick out. You're right. I think, damn.
Pepsi's poison.
Pepsi's poison. I'm going to go with Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob.
My sandy cheeks and me.
All right, so I got Sandy Cheeks as my point guard, and I got Clifford the Big Red Dog as my center. Adam, you have Ed from Ed and Eddie as your power forward. Who's going to be your next player, and what position are they?
It's gonna be a small forward. Foster's home of imaginary friends. None
Wilt.
other than Michael Jordan's imaginary friend, Wilt.
That was a
Wilt
good one.
the Stilt.
Yeah.
Dude, when you
good
said
one.
big and red, I was like, don't you dare! Don't you
a good
dare!
one. That's a good one.
I'm really mad that I can't even find that Wilt reference. They're like, I know what it is, but I'm
Yeah.
mad that I couldn't find it before I could use it.
All righty, so you got Wilt, and you got from Foster Home Imaginary Friends, and you got the Big Ed from Ed and Eddie. Tony, you got 2 picks here with Timmy Turner as your point guard. Who are you going with next, and what positions?
Let me grab let me grab Goku for like a general small forward.
General small
A
forward.
3 and D.
You definitely took my next pick.
Damn,
Alrighty.
see, I didn't have him on because I still consider the Z Fighter superheroes. But they are.
I
guess
put
they're-
them in the cartoon category.
Yeah,
not
it's like they
superhero.
weren't like
Well,
they were like
every-
saving the universe,
Yeah,
not
every-
like
every-
a specific.
Every single Dragon Ball fan, and I heard Derek audibly chuckle at it. I think he was laughing at you calling it a cartoon instead of an anime.
Yeah, I know.
I could
It's
be
an
wrong.
anime.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
All right, so you got Goku as your small forward. Who do you have for your next position, and what position will it be?
I guess I gotta get somebody big. Shazam. I went
There it
Shaq. I went Shaq.
There it is.
Oh, he's not a cartoon.
He's not a
at
cartoon.
all.
You just picked Shaq.
He's a real person. Hey, what about the genie from Aladdin? Then?
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah,
Where do you
okay.
want? Power forward or center?
Center.
Alrighty.
Yeah, he's tangible. He can pick stuff up, can't he?
you can do stuff.
Alrighty, so you got the
I
genie.
was about to say that would
Demon.
suck. It just goes right through.
That would be terrible. Alrighty, so you got Timmy Turner as your point guard, Goku as your small forward, and your the genie from Aladdin as your center. Adam, you got Wilt and Ed as your small forward and power forward. Who you going with next, and what position?
I'm gonna have to go with my point guard. I'm gonna go with number 1, codename Kid Next Door.
Nice.
Legit.
Elite leadership skills.
Number 1 from KOD.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That's awesome. Okay.
He
I
was
am gonna
number
go
1.
with my power forward next, because we gotta keep the big men going. Shrek. Try and guard Shrek down low. You're gonna get
He's
worked.
got a credible front court, dude.
Yeah. You're gonna be having some problems down low. And then for my small forward, For my small forward, I need someone to take care of Wilt. And I ain't talking about guarding him and locking him down. I mean, out of the game. And none other than the Grim Reaper from Billy and Mandy will do that. Now, here's my question. Is it like the real Grim Reaper where when Wilt touches him, he will die?
I mean, that would kind of be illegal to kill my player, so I kind of feel like you guys would have to forfeit at that point.
Well, then I might have to tilt here. I thought I was going to be able to kill Wilt.
I mean, if a murder happened in the NBA game, I'm pretty sure they'd arrest the
Andy,
guy.
can the Grim Reaper kill Wilt? This is your call. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh! I'm going with the Grim Reaper, but he can't kill him on touch. He has to at least hit him with a sword.
You can't play. You can't have a sword in a basketball game. What? Yeah, it's a sight.
Okay.
But
I'll tell. I need someone to guard your small forward, Lightning McQueen, because you're gonna run him over and take out his knees. So we're going with Lightning McQueen as my small forward.
Lightning McQueen equals Bill Lambier.
I guess.
Yeah. All right, Adam.
Me personally, I thought he was a great sportsman. He stopped instead of winning his third straight Piston Cup.
Yeah.
So he could go push the King, who was at Dynaco, an enemy place, I guess, an enemy sponsorship.
And then he came to my team to get rid of Wilt. So you got Codename Kid next door. You got Wilt. You got Ed. Who you got next? You have your shooting guard and your center left.
What do I have left?
You have your shooting guard and power forward left. You guys are going to get destroyed down low. Let me just tell you.
Well, honestly, I am kind of perplexed here. Got a
Okay.
pretzel in my head.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, no.
Makes me feel like I'm doing my job.
I don't know who to pick.
Shiny
Okay.
teeth and me.
I don't know who to pick. I guess shooting guard. I'm gonna have to go with my main man Wandissimo.
Wandissimo from
Fairly Odd
Fairly
Parents.
Odd Parents, yeah.
Just because Tony's been singing. I don't know why Chip Skylark made me think of Wandissimo.
I was
but
saying, like, that's
it's by Butch Hartman. It's the same writers. It's the same animation
all right,
style.
so you go Wandissimo to counteract the Tim Turner. Tony, you are now closing out your draft. You have your shooting guard and your power
My
forward.
sixth man is Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory.
Jeez Louise.
By the way, so eat your heart out, America.
All righty, here you go with your last two.
Nah, I kind of forgot those ones.
I got about my starters. I'm so focused on my sixth man.
Oh man, blew that.
Oh, I got my center now, bud.
Oh, I got my
You can do
shooting
your
guard.
center if you want. I gotta remember those two. Holy crap!
Don't worry, we can edit this out because we're not live.
I win.
He was trying to.
was
That was
trying
a
to do
live stream, damn it.
I was thinking shooting guard.
Derek can just cut me out, right?
Pablo Sanchez was my small forward, by the way.
I'll take that. I'll take
Who?
no Goku.
Pablo Sanchez. He is a backyard sports
You mean
icon.
your shooting guard?
Oh,
I'll allow it. Technically
Yeah.
a cartoon.
Wait,
But
is that-
Andy, Pablo Sanchez. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
he was the most you picked him every
Number one
time.
overall pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about like the
Pick
backyard
me!
baseball on the
Yeah.
Wii,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was
And
in,
football.
He was in
Oh, okay.
every backyard.
Yeah.
backyard
And then
game
you have to
period.
have a power forward.
My power forward, and a man, like I came up, man, I really wanted Mandark, but I just felt like he was.
Why don't you take him as power forward?
Yeah, just take Mandark.
Mandark?
Yeah, Mandark. He nailed that.
All righty, Adam. You got your center left. Who you taking?
My center, I need somebody down low who's just as much of a leader as my one. I'm taking Optimus Prime.
Wow, what a steal in the draft.
Yeah, he says Lightning McQueen. I was trying to think of a car person. Well, I got a car man. I got a truck man.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen's screwed.
Yeah.
He's just,
Yeah.
Wilt's not going to die now.
It's gonna be one of those things you're like holding his forehead. And he's just like, nah.
Lightning McQueen's literally going to be a toy car to this man. All righty, so to round out, you have Tony, you have Timmy Turner, Pablo Sanchez, Goku, Mandark, and the genie from
Goku is a stud.
Let's
Dude.
go.
It's like he's got the Portland Trailblazers with Damian Lillard.
And then you got Adam. You have from point guard to center. Code number 1 from Codename Kid Next Door. Wandissimo, which I definitely didn't spell right. Will from Foster Sloman.
Dude, it's like long.
It's like this long, dude. It just starts with a W. There's no way it starts with a W. It's definitely a J. Yeah.
I thought it was wand, like a magic wand.
Oh my God, it could be.
Yeah,
It definitely
it's
could
like,
be.
Yeah.
And
But it could
then you
also
have-
be like
You're playing chess. Bro.
You have Ed. You have Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and Optimus Prime. I have Sandy Cheeks for my point guard, Lightning McQueen as my small forward, Shrek as my power forward, Clifford the Big Red Dog as my center, and for my shooting guard, you have Goku. I feel like I need to somehow counteract Goku, so I'll go with a lesser Saiyan with Vegeta. To
that's saying royalty, bud.
really, who wins every fight?
Well, that's not fair because the writer got mad at the fans.
Exactly. So we're going with Vegeta to try and counteract your Goku, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 5-on-5 basketball. We will have a poll out. Oh shit! But ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a poll out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a poll out for you to pick your favorite teams. Let us know who you think will
Like
win
and
that
subscribe,
battle.
my
Make sure
team.
you like and subscribe.
I'm Adam for Tony. This is Clay for Adam.
Oh, all right. Let me do this ending. Make sure that you're following us on Facebook on Ride the Wave Show. Adam is out. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram at Ride the Wave Show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Ride the Wave Show 2023. I'm gonna be like my colleagues, and I'm gonna be peace out, Girl Scout. See you on Friday at Zay Trey's Classic.